You know what? I'm.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Right now we're live? Which probably costs a shitload of money. We're trying to figure, like, Riders on the Storm, doom, 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 doom. I think that would be the best way to open a podcast ever. Too much, though, right?
I'll talk to some people. I'll take care of it.
Wheeler Walker Jr.
Hey, are we on camera?
We're on camera with the whole
How do I
deal.
look?
You look fucking fantastic.
Oh, let me show some more.
I found about you through a mutual friend who turned me on to eating pussy and kicking ass. And I was a fan right away. Instantly.
Thanks, man. Are we on?
We're on. This is real.
Cool.
This is 100% legit.
Yeah, we love the show, and I'm out here. I'm not making this up. We bought tickets for this weekend because we were gonna do Coachella. Too risque, they said. The goal was we were gonna do it, and they said it's too fucking X-rated. We can't fuck. Which was fucking bullshit to me, man.
You're too risque for Coachella. I thought Coachella was all about taking ecstasy and.
That's what I fucking thought. You know, it's just I don't know. Maybe that's their excuse. They just don't want me. You know, it could have been the nice way of saying we don't want you.
Let's just go over the playlist, and perhaps we'll see where the hitches might be.
I think I may be with them.
Redneck Shit. I don't have any problem with that. That's easy.
That's the name of the album.
That's easy.
We're banned from Walmart, by the way.
Well, that's a plus. Beer, weed, cooches. That's fine. Family Tree. Totally fine.
That's the dirtiest one, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can't fuck you off my mind. Things start getting a little edgy. Fuck you, bitch.
That's the ballad.
Drop them out. That's easy. Eating pussy, kicking ass. My favorite. Fighting, fucking, farting.
That's fun.
Better off beating off. Sit on my face, and then the coup de grace. Which one of you queers is gonna suck my dick?
Hey man, shit happens. You go black out and head to a bar. Well, the problem is the titles are actually way clearer than the song. I mean, here's honestly what happened. So I went to my buddy Dave Cobb. He's a producer there. I actually met him through your buddy Sturgill. Actually, I didn't really meet him, but everyone. There's a bunch of articles that said Sturgill introduced me to him, so I'm just going with it.
Why not?
Well, I mean,
it's already a narrative.
Yeah, it helps. But and I'd kind of been kicking around Nashville for like about 15 years or so, and with no success at all. I mean, just bullshit. And had my ass kicked, my dick in the dirt, as they say. And then I was like, fuck it, this is gonna be my last record. I was like, I'm gonna, whatever they call it, drop the mic, put out a really fucking dirty ass record. That record I always wanted to make, and not pull any punches. I was gonna just pay for it myself, own it myself, and I had a feeling this was gonna get me banned from Nashville, and then I'd just leave because I'm fucking broke. So we made this fucking dirty record, and it's probably about as dirty. And it wasn't even like I want to make the dirtiest country record. It was just like what's happened now in Nashville, because it's turned into such fucking bullshit. Is
Well, money's happened, right?
Well, what's happened is country radio is no longer country music.
What is it? And I didn't know this any more than you because I don't listen to that dog shit. But I actually heard the best explanation for it the other day. Steve Earle, who's a hero of mine, he was on this Chris Shiflett podcast. I don't know if you know he's a guitar player for Foo Fighters. Has a good podcast where he interviews a lot of country musicians. He loves country. Oh, wow.
And Steve Earle goes, you could hear him. He's kind of talking around it. He goes, country today, mainstream corporate country is. He goes, it's rap music for people, and he pauses. He's like, it's rap music for people, and you keep hearing him pause. Like, is he gonna say it? He goes, it's rap music for people who are scared of black people. And he's not saying it as a joke, but I started listening. He's absolutely fucking 100% right.
Did Luke Bryan do like a duet with a rapper?
They all do that. You know what it is? It's like beats for, and you said you know some hip hop and shit. This is
Jamie's big on the hip hop.
Yeah, it's beats from. But the thing is, here's my thing: if you were making good sounding, like it's beats from the '80s, really soft, guy with the baseball hat. Singing about trucks and beers and dog shit like that. It's the
river.
worst.
You gotta go to the river.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's just so.
Have you ever seen that compilation?
What's that?
It's a compilation they put on all these different musicians singing the exact same thing.
Yeah. Well, I've heard a lot of this one compilation of country artists. It's just the same song. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it's a compilation. They're all talking about being by the river, your tight blue jeans. Like there's all these like different things that they just repeat.
I mean, it's disgusting, really, is what it is.
It's weird.
Another thing, too, is I listen to NWA. I listen to Public Enemy. I listen to, Ghetto Boys. Like, I don't need to hear
white boy rap. I'll listen if I want to listen. I listen to all kinds of music. If I want to listen to rap, I'll listen to fucking rap.
Right.
So I went in the studio. And I'm like, I'm gonna make some real fucking country music. And at the time, I didn't know what had happened. And I'm in Nashville, but I'm in my house. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So whenever I write a song, like my first instinct is just not to censor it. Why would you?
Right.
And I started playing in the studio, and they're like, this guy, motherfucker's going. I mean, I'm fisting chicks and going, guys blowing each other and uncles,
Eating pussy and kicking ass had me literally like crying and laughing.
Well, that's probably the cleanest song.
It's a funny song though, man. It's very funny.
We were listening to playback, and I go, we were listening to "Fuck You, Bitch," which is the hit.
I've heard that one too. That's a hit.
That's the hit, if you can call it a hit.
It took me a second to realize that was also you because I saw the first one from the Ben Hoffman show.
Yeah, fuck that dude. Not fun.
You don't like Ben Hoffman?
No, well, he talked me into doing his fucking he had a show on Comedy Central. As the saying goes, I was sick that week, so I didn't get to see it. It was fucking canceled. It wasn't funny, and the dude just came off like kind of like a cocksucker.
Wow.
And
strong words.
Yeah, I don't.
You guys could be brothers. You look exactly alike.
We look like
real similar.
I don't think so, but whatever. Each to his own.
Dude, I'm half blind.
Okay, well, that's cool. I was gonna say I
wear glasses now.
So I did that thing, and then I think that's where maybe Cobb or because I knew Sturgill back in Kentucky. Anyway, the point I'm all over the place.
Well, it just started getting around. What was interesting to me was that it started getting around through no like big promotion, just people passing it on. Someone would find out about it, they'd send it to this guy, and he would send it to his friends, and that's how I got it. Well, it might have been Sturgill that sent it to me.
It's very possible because what happened was. And kind of the main point was I was in the studio, back to what we were talking about, and I'm listening to playback to Fuck You, Bitch. And I go, man, this is so pretty. If I made it clean, like Love You, Girl, whatever.
Right.
I go, this could get played on the radio.
Right.
And they look at me like I'm crazy. And they go, this ain't getting played on the radio. I go, why not? They go, because it's real country music, and they don't play that on the radio anymore. Then I go, if I can get banned for playing real country, why not just fucking not censor myself at all and do it fucking X-rated. So that's what kind of convinced me just to do it my fucking way,
So as someone who is a country music artist and is a fan of country music, and we talked about country music before the show started, you got to be some hope that there's guys like Shooter Jennings and Sturgill, there's these new guys that are coming up that are really fucking talented.
That's the only hope. Well, yeah. I mean, really, what's happened... Here's my thing, and I've gotten a lot of all the kind of mainstream, it's not fucking around. I mean, like, Music Row ain't happy that my album, it was Grammy week when my album came out like 8 weeks ago. And my album debuted at number 9 on the Billboard country charts.
During hilarious.
Grammy week. Outsold people who were on the fucking Grammys. And that's from a fucking few tweets, and I ain't got no Twitter followers, I don't even know how to use that, Facebook and, I signed up for Snapchat hoping to get a bunch of tits because they said that's where the tits come in.
Snapchat's where the tits come in.
I've gotten about
stay off of Snapchat, Jamie.
I've gotten 25,000 dicks. No, I got nothing but dicks and nuts, and I've gotten like 4 of the nastiest tits you've ever seen.
Well, men are disgusting, so men take chances.
Yeah,
so
well,
if a guy's a gay guy and you got all these songs about gay guys sucking dicks, they're like, I can get this guy.
Well, the thing, they're not even doing. These aren't gay guys. These are guys who are just like, I love your album. I want to show you my fucking nuts.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I guess I appreciate it, but
you should.
Can someone send me some fucking tits already? Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
Well, I think they're coming today. Today, people are going to send you them. They're not even going to be theirs. You're going to get some fake accounts.
Oh,
you're going to get
bring
fished.
It,
who
gives a fuck?
Not fish. Catfished? Catfished. You're going to get catfished.
If anyone's up for if anyone's up for getting catfished, it's old Will Walker Jr. I'll show up with my fucking pants down, ready for it. I'll buy anything,
Well, what's funny about you and this whole thing is that no one had to give you the green light to do this. What I love about it is that you decided to take a chance, spend your own money, hire legit musicians, put it together yourself, and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to have it. Either I'm going to go down in flames or this is going to take off. And, dude, I hear about you all the time now. Like, I don't know if you know what's happening, but there's like this wave of people who are finding out about you across the country.
The answer is I didn't know. I mean, I put out the album, and then I got a call, like I said, about, that it's on the Billboard. I thought it was a fucking joke. And then they said I got to go on tour. And I said, I'm no spring chicken, man. I ain't sitting in a fucking van and playing empty clubs. And I said, call me back when we got offers. And they started getting off, like, Can I make my official? Yeah.
Jamie, pull up that email.
We're doing
that
a tour.
I sent you.
I'm announcing it right now. Like, and I got talked into it. You know, like there's people buying. I guess they want to buy tickets. I don't.
Nobody would have ever let you do this 10 years ago. You could have never done this.
That's so funny because obviously a thing.
Here we go. Bam.
Oh shit! It was a tour.
Full
date.
tour, son.
I'm not even kidding. This is some of these is the first time I've seen it.
Okay, so go to wheelerwalkerjr.com/tour, and all these are on here. You're doing some serious places, man. You're doing some pretty big theaters.
So tell me, they're like some of these are like House of Blues.
Yeah, these are several thousand.
House of Blues.
People.
I mean, they play everything but the blues. But I mean, those are big rooms. How the fuck am I gonna sell that out?
I don't know, dude.
I guess that's what I'm here for.
I guess that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing the Independent in San Francisco. Damn.
Is that a good place?
Yeah, it's a very nice place.
Yeah, motherfucker.
You're doing some good spots.
Yeah,
the
well,
Fillmore in Philadelphia, that's a great theater.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
So
Damn, son,
yeah.
look at you. That's hilarious.
So-
How long ago did the album come out?
Been about 8 weeks. So, I listen. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but
That's awesome.
I guess. So I went in there like this guy Dave Cobb, who just won the Grammy of the Grammy for Country Producer of the Year.
Okay.
And he did Sturgill's first 2 records, and I knew Sturgill a little bit back in Kentucky, and he introduced me. He's like, just give me. I was like, I want to own this shit. I don't want anyone to own it because they're gonna fuck with it.
Right.
So I just gave him literally emptied out my bank account, gave Dave the money. All these kind of the best musicians. It was actually a lot of Shooters, the guys from Shooters' first band who'd all moved, who now are in Nashville. So it's like these killer players, who I think are the best players in Nashville, but they're not like Nashville's go-to. Not like the guys that these pop dog shit guys go to. And it's the guys who played on Sturgill's first record, and these guys, Leroy Powell, Chris Powell, Brian Allen, give them a shot.
Real great musicians.
Great fucking musicians.
There's some live versions that they did. You can have the Crown live, some radio station thing with just a very small group of them, and you get to see like how good the actual talent is.
Sturgill's got a different band now. That again, I mean, Sturgill's band now is fucking is killer. I mean,
his music is so hard to pin down.
And I was just listening. It's funny too because we had a falling out recently. And you couldn't find a bigger Sturgill fan than me. I was listening to his record on the way over here, and it's a fucking masterpiece. But he also won't fucking talk to me right now.
What happened?
Well, here's the thing. I don't even mind talking about it, right? In an interview, I said that he was, this is honestly what I believe. I think he is, and you're going to laugh when I say it, but I swear this is what I fucking believe. I think he's a paid CIA assassin. I'll just let that sink in for a second. I think he's taking motherfuckers out. And I confronted him about it.
Where did you get this information?
Let me tell you.
A YouTube video?
No. See, like I said, I knew him back in Kentucky. And this fucker goes to the Navy, right?
Right. That's
imagine he works for the government. Imagine being in the Navy and you look next to you and some guy just picks up a guitar and starts singing, and it's Sturgill Simpson. Imagine that.
Right.
There's no fucking way. Like the greatest singer, guitarist, one of the best ones in the world right now. Would you agree with that?
Oh, for sure.
And he's just sitting next to you on a fucking boat, and he decides, you know what? I want to leave the Navy.
Well, he was young.
But I'm saying you can't just quit the Navy.
Well, you do your term.
He didn't do his term. He fucking left.
Really?
So he owes the government.
Well, how long did he go?
I don't know the fuck. Listen, all my facts aren't together. I ain't gonna lie to you. But he leaves.
Can you do that? I thought that's like you go AWOL.
He didn't go AWOL. He's fuck. So why is I'm saying why is he fucking out?
Oh, well, you should talk to Alex Jones about that.
Well, no, but I'm telling. I know. I'm not. I don't need to talk to him. I got the answers.
Okay.
He leaves, right?
Right.
Now. He all of a sudden out of nowhere he just puts out the fucking record. So what if you're in the government, you want to take some fuckers out.
Right.
Put their dick in the dirt, like I'm saying. Take those motherfuckers down. What's the best way to do it? And this been done before by some other Hollywood stars.
You get the best country music artist alive, and you get them to kill people for you.
Well, no, yeah, as a front, but who travels the most? Right?
Country music artists.
Yeah, and you got to have him legit because he's got to go fucking play, right? Check out Sturgill's tour. Now, here's what I'm going to say right now. I know you're laughing at me. I see you both laughing at me. But this motherfucker has toured Europe fucking 10 times. He's toured England 10 times. You ever heard of who's your favorite country music artist from England? They don't listen to fucking country music.
They do listen to it, though.
Well, they don't play and listen to it. He's going over there fucking killing people. And But this fucker's gone to how many times? A lot.
Yeah.
No,
How many?
you ever met a Japanese guy and you go, "Who's your favorite country artist?" They don't go like, they don't go, fuck da yokom. They don't listen to that shit. He's over there taking motherfuckers out. You go down his tour list and you check it with the papers of enemies of the state who've been taken out. That shit fucking lines up.
Does it?
I think it. I wasn't the specifics. I can't. Anyway, I got a little stoned and I thought this was what happened, and I should have asked him about it, which is true, but.
So you just started accusing him of being a CIA assassin?
Well, I should have done it to his face. I did it on a couple radio shows. And then, and this is probably going to break it open a little bit. But anyway, now he won't, why won't he confront me about it? Because it's true.
Right.
And why is this new album all about him? You heard the record. It's just him talking to his son.
Right.
Because he's seeing shit at night. He's seeing the shit, Why do you write an album about this serious about as like a serious talk to your child, because you've seen shit go down. You've seen motherfuckers.
Maybe he just loves his kid.
No one does that. No, that's not a reason to make a record. He's telling his kids, warning him, don't do what I did.
Okay.
And he's a hired government assassin, and I'm almost positive about this.
Do you worry
I
that
lost
he's
a
going to
friend
take you
for it,
out?
but I'm also getting the truth out there. What?
Don't you worry he's going to take you out for exposing him?
That's why I'm talking about it. Because now that they know if he takes me out, we'll know what. Well, then my story will be true.
That's what that guy thought in Russia. Remember that dude in Russia that was talking shit about Putin? He was like a political rival to Putin, and he thought because he was so public, they'd never take him out. They shot him with his girlfriend. While he's with his girlfriend, they shot him in front of a government building.
That doesn't help my fucking anxiety with a story like
Yeah,
that.
they'll just get you, dude. Especially if you go to Russia. Don't tour Russia.
I don't know. Well, I mean, again, my facts aren't like 100%
100%?
together, but from what I've seen, why wouldn't he talk to me about it then? Why wouldn't he say?
Well, people get testy when you call them killers. They get, they feel bad.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you guys, I mean, whatever. I think I'm onto something, but whatever. Anyway, that's the thing about country music. You lose some friends. But him taking apart that I think he's a hired government killer, take that away.
Okay, let's take that away.
We'll take that away for the moment. But what you're saying about those guys like Sturgill, it's bringing real country, it's actual country music. He didn't play on the radio either.
Jason Isbell, too. That guy, man. I've been listening to a lot of his shit lately. He's amazing.
He's fucking great.
Such a good writer,
That's
too.
the guy who did, Dave, who did his records, did
it, too.
records, yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff coming out right now. And see, this is the thing, though. It seems that music producers are a lot like television producers in that what they want to do is sell the most shit. And like some of these people, they're not necessarily, it's not that they're not artists. They're definitely artists. They're creating music. But they're creating music that they specifically want to sell a lot. They want it to hit with people. It's almost like they want to figure out how to press those buttons right. They want to put it in a nice, juicy formula where they could press those buttons right, and it'll sell a lot of units. But a guy like Sturgill or a guy like Shooter Jennings, like these guys are not doing that. What they're doing is expressing themselves. And then you get to find out who they actually are. And it's so much more interesting than the same canned bullshit. And the same canned bullshit's fine sometimes. I mean, sometimes I like listening to some stupid pop music song. Just for the fuck of it, who cares? It's not the worst thing in the world.
I think that's fine too, but my even bigger, not even bigger issue, but speaking, like I like fucking pop music just like you, but the country pop is fucking
weird.
is 30 years, they're trying, I don't mind, like Sturgill's a good example of someone who's taken country and moving it forward.
Yeah.
These guys they're adding beats from like the 80s and they're going backwards. They're trying, I know people who go into studios of major country artists with one of those fucking
Clicker things
and making sure it's it's not made up, making sure it's the right beats per minute. So slow it down, speed up to make sure we get on the radio.
Oh my God.
So my goal with my record, isn't that fucking crazy?
It's weird.
That's you. Imagine someone coming in here with one of those clickers that speed it up or slow down your pot. Like you fucking kick him out of the room.
Well, we've talked about this 100 times. Like if we actually had a network or a producer or an executive behind the show, it would have never worked. No one would have never let us do any of this stuff.
No.
I would have had arguments with people every day about some of the things we say.
Hey, totally. And that's why the podcast's so great and so big. And a lot of these podcasts, it's the natural reaction when radio turns to shit.
Yeah.
Podcasts had to happen because people were sick of bullshit radio. And the same thing with country. I went, basically my goal was, I gave him cash. I said, no one's touching this. And I said, I'm going to make the best country record of the year, and I'm going to make it completely unplayable. I don't want it to be able to be played anywhere. So when you're making an album like that, you're literally only listening. You're not thinking outside the room you're recording it in, because the assumption was nobody was going to fucking hear it.
Right.
So when you make an album that you assume nobody's going to hear, it's some interesting shit kind of happens. Yeah, it got fucking dirty. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it went fucking X-rated, but
it's fun, man. It's fun.
And what you said was true too. Like 20 years ago, 15, 10 years ago, this would have to be sold in the back of a nudie mag.
Exactly.
It's on iTunes. It's on Amazon. It's not, like I said, it's not Walmart.
You'd have had to give it to people, and they would have had to start talking about it. And then there was a few, weren't there a few like dirty albums where guys would sing dirty songs back in the day?
Yeah, David Allan Coe is the most famous. I actually opened up 2 shows for David Allan Coe.
And he's dirty?
No, he's a legit country artist, and it's actually a real story. It's interesting. He, Shel Silverstein was
the writer,
the children's book writer, but he also wrote country music. He wrote A Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash.
Somebody told me that. That's true?
That's true. He's recorded here and there. So David Allan Coe was playing these really dirty songs for Shel Silverstein, and he goes, "You got to record this shit." And I got a record label. I can't. This is the '70s. I can't record. I mean, we're talking shit. I consider myself an equal opportunity offender, and I'm a David Allan Coe fan. I mean, no disrespect. But he's 70. He's used it as for. And I don't think he's a racist because it comes up a lot. But he uses the N-word. It gives crazy shit. And but it was sold he recorded it, obviously, off the radar. And it was sold in the back of biker mags, And those albums, they got to me in Kentucky, like they get around. But it was a different machine behind it.
Well, do you remember the Jerky Boys?
Yeah.
You remember there was a cassette that you would get from people. That's how we all got the Jerky Boys.
I remember getting that in Kentucky. Just like, you got to hear this, because we all used to do prank calls. Like, you got to hear this shit.
I think those guys did that shit all on their own and put the cassette out all on their own.
Probably didn't they do a movie? It probably went more mainstream. But
it went south there.
But what you're saying is totally right. Like, and now you've got word of mouth times of. That's how you end up on the Billboard charts, is when you got word of mouth. Plus the internet,
right?
Which is, instead of telling 10 friends, you're actually telling 1,000 friends, and we're out selling. My album came out the same week as a new Winona Judd record, and I sold more copies. And I'm from Kentucky, and I got nothing against the Judds. By the way, did I tell you I got in a Twitter fight with Winona?
Whoa, for real?
Yeah.
Which one's the actress?
That's her sister, Ashley.
Okay.
Winona looks like 2 Ashleys put together.
Rude.
Yeah, that's not nice of me to say.
But
I don't like these LA women. I should say that.
You like them thick?
Yeah, I like kind of big.
I like them a little thick.
Yeah, I don't like these girls are too skinny. Because it's like the old days, If you saw a girl that's skinny,
it's not healthy.
Yeah, it was a sign of that like those fat kings in the old days, were like they let you know that they had fucking money. When I see a girl that's skinny, I think they're just using me for food.
I wonder if women think that way. They see a guy who's real thin. Like, do they want a guy with a gut secretly? They don't want to talk about it.
Well, according to what I've seen in L.A.,
yeah, eats what he wants.
I mean, these girls look hungry.
There's a lot of hungry girls in L.A. They are hungry.
Yeah.
Well, they've been told that they have to be a fucking coat rack in order to be famous.
But guys don't like that.
Well, not only that, man. Watch television in other countries. Like, watch a television show in Colombia. All the girls have these big, thick-ass legs and big asses and big tits. They don't look anything like American women.
And that's what fucking we whack off to.
Exactly.
Like, I've never Googled skinny chicks on my fucking...
It's not healthy.
I hate to bring it back to me, but I always
please do.
It goes to what we're talking about. Doing everything the opposite way. So a lot of these albums nowadays, like, they'll stream, do a free stream the week before it comes out on NPR or Rolling Stone or wherever it was. And, no one would play my shit.
Of course.
So I go, let's premiere the record on RedTube. No, which one was it?
Like a porn site?
Yeah, Pornhub was the one I did. So
Pornhub.
I go Pornhub. I go let's stream the album for free for the first week on Pornhub. All right. I think maybe, listen, don't get me wrong, most people who went to Pornhub that week weren't looking to hear a country music record.
Right.
But still, you get 1% of that. They were there to whack off. When you're done whacking off, listen to a good fucking record. They had ads for my record. No one's it's like, they basically said to me, like, let's just try it out, see what happens. And they were so totally fucking cool about it. It's like, when you're looking for, because this, like, they're like talking about these, like, NPR's app. What's that, 10,000 people? Like, how'd you like to reach every fucking man on earth who whacks off? I go, yeah, that sounds interesting to me. That sounds like an audience I'd like to get in with.
Do you ever look at ads when you whack off, though? I don't even know what they are.
Here's my theory.
I don't even notice them. I go full screen immediately.
No, my theory, though, is when my face is up there and you're whack, if you jizz right when you see my face, you ain't forgetting that face for the rest of your fucking life.
That's a good point. You have a very distinct look. And then if you like went to like a video that you really enjoyed, and then your face was off to the side of it, it could get confusing.
Well, yeah, it clicked right to the fucking record.
Yeah, that's like some Manchurian Candidate type shit.
Yeah, that's how I'm thinking. I'm thinking Sturgill-like here.
Dude, I see what you're saying. Like you just get in their head. Like
yeah.
Because everybody, I wonder like what are the real raw numbers?
Oh,
for, like how many people jerk off to those porn sites?
Well, they told me that it was like
It has to be insane.
It was it was literally hundreds of millions of people. Well, they're like, isn't that fucking crazy? They're like,
what's crazy is it's in the dark. If there was any other fucking website that had hundreds of millions of hits, we'd be talking about it all the time.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. They gave me their numbers, and they were just like, they weren't even that, because they know the numbers, so to them it's not a big deal.
Do you know
they're
how
like,
crazy that is?
I go, how, like, compare yourself to other sites. I go, what's it like compared to Craigslist was the only thing I said. They go, oh, we're bigger than Craigslist. I go, what about CNN? We're bigger than CNN.
They're bigger than all those guys combined.
Why the fuck am I the only one thinking to fucking put ads on Pornhub? And they go, because the corporations won't. This is back to me paying for it and owning it myself. I go, I can do whatever. We've asked the movie studios, we've asked the record companies, they won't fucking put ads on our fucking sites. And I go, I'll fucking do it.
That's hilarious.
And they go, who do you have to talk to do it? And I go, you're talking to the fucking guy. That's the whole.
You don't have people.
That's the whole love of the whole great thing about doing this. Like, let's test it out.
But you must have people swooping in on you now, because what we were talking about earlier, that Nashville right now, I don't want to say it like I'm a fucking investigator. I've been studying Nashville. Here's my conclusion.
I'll bet you know the big picture, though.
It's money. It's just like television shows. If you want to watch those terrible 2.5 Men style television shows, why do you think they're making those things? Because people are buying them. They're gobbling them up. There's a certain frequency that you can hit when you make like really dull, bland stuff, and people like that. There's a lot of people that like that. So they know how to do it, and they bang it out. And I think that's what's happening with producers, but it's not what the public wants. And that's why you're getting these shows like Mad Men or, Walking Dead or, the Game of Thrones. You're getting these interesting shows that are so much different than all these formulaic bullshit shows that have been on television forever. And because people are changing, they have to adapt to the fact that people have too many options now. They don't have to just eat your spoon-fed bullshit. And
totally. I mean,
that's going on with radio.
That's like, listen, the girl who dumped me, and I'm telling you, she's not a bitch. But when she left, in my head, I'm thinking, fuck, as any guy would, fuck you, bitch. I go, why do I have to cover up that emotion that I felt after the song for some fucking record label? So I just sang "fuck you." Of course, everyone, the studio guys are playing drums. Like, what the fuck's wrong with this dude?
How many hits does that video have on YouTube? It's something insane.
No, it's not that. I mean, we're still at the very beginnings. I mean, what's so crazy is the amount of records I've sold and these rooms I'm playing. We still only reached because
We've been out for 8 weeks, man.
Yeah, it's pretty early. But there's this band Florida Georgia Line, who, by the way, just blocked me on Twitter because I was talking so much shit about them.
Florida Georgia
Line. They should be called Florida George. And they're one of the bigger acts in country. And listen, I'm sure I heard later they were nice guys after I ripped on them for fucking nonstop for fucking 72 hours. But I don't give two fucks about making fun of this bullshit pop country that I call, that I talked about before. So I'll fucking rip on.
Is that pop country? They have wallet chains. I had a wallet chain until recently.
Okay, listen. You tell me right now, those dudes ain't about to jack each other off.
They're trying to get some pussy. They look good. Look at them. They shave their arms.
Pussy.
Hold on, go back to that, Jamie.
That's two guys trying to get pussy.
The guy over his right shoulder, no, that guy's not getting pussy. Oh. But in his defense, he might have already gotten some pussy, or he might be in the dick.
Oh, he's in post pussy mode.
Yeah, he could be like, I just nutted so hard today, I don't give a fuck. I just want to eat some Cheetos and take a nap. That's very possible.
But yeah, I mean, that's
the guy at the right doesn't know what the fuck's going on. The guy at the far right with the glasses, with the gray shirt, He's just like hoping one day it's all going to make sense.
He just wants the checks to cash.
Yeah, he's hoping one day it's all going to make sense. But right now he's baffled. He's
But-
like, what is on the radio?
And here's the thing: if it makes people happy and people like this fucking crap,
Hey, easy.
You know,
I like their medallions.
but
Like the
if they-
fake soldiers.
I got nothing against it. But I'm also the only fucking dude in Nashville talking shit about him and Sam Hunt, this guy who fucking raps, and
Why does that guy have a dog tag on? Go back to that, please, Jamie. He's got a diamond encrusted dog tag. That's like some stolen valor shit.
maybe he works for the CIA too.
I mean, that is the exact opposite of what a fucking dog tag is. A dog tag is aluminum and it represents a memory of someone who died in the war. This is a dog tag shaped diamond encrusted thing. This is hilarious.
Oh,
This
you
is
mean
like,
the real dog tags aren't diamond encrusted? Is that what you're trying to
That's
say?
what I'm trying to say. This is literally like the devil is selling us a band.
Yeah, it really. But this is the thing. This is what they're selling. So you wonder why I'm pissing off Music Row. Well, here's a reason. Because that fucking band has blocked Wheeler Walker Jr. on Twitter.
Well, it's probably
Stuff.
someone handling their shit. It's
Well,
just
whatever it is. But
thin
and
skin.
again, I've heard they're nice enough guys, but there's people writing the music for them. There are people producing it for them.
Are you sure?
Well, let me just use them as an example. Let me just say in broader terms. Listen, I don't. Another thing reason I think people dig me because I don't give a fuck if what I'm saying is true or not. I just say the
Obviously.
shit. But the pop country dog shit that's on country radio with Florida Georgia Line, Sam Hunt, and all this other shit. I mean, listen.
I wish I
Carrie
could
Underwood.
listen to some of it. I don't know what it sounds like.
It sounds like what Steve Earle said. It
They're
sounds
handsome
like
guys. They're dreamy. I think you're hating.
fuck yeah, I'm hating. I'm trying to sell records.
Go back to him, Jamie. Look at the one with the gold bullion. He's got a gold bullion around his neck. Some shit Columbus took over in the Santa Maria. Go back to him. No,
What?
the original picture that you had,
my
Jamie.
gee,
These
motherfucker.
guys are beautiful. There he goes. Look at the gold
Oh, they're
bullion around his neck.
good-looking dudes.
Handsome. They look like they'd be wonderful to hang out with.
Yeah. And you think those two guys know what it's like to have loved and lost? And
Those guys have
sing?
been down that dirt road, sir. They've gotten their fingers
That's
dirty and everything. They have hand sanitizer in their back pocket right now.
No, ain't no girl dumping those dudes with
They
those with
do.
gold crusted
They
medallion.
dump them. Girls are crazy.
No,
They don't
way.
even appreciate what's in front of them.
You want to
Don't
hear?
even know.
You want to hear some fucking, some heartbreak? You listen to me, not these two fucking good-looking dudes.
Well, for heartbreak music, I would say the dude with the red and black striped shirt is not going to give you what you're looking for.
Yeah, probably not. I wonder if he. I don't think he's. I think it's just the two dudes.
He wishes he was in The Cure, but they're not taking anybody new.
Look at him. You know what's funny? I'll bet the two guys in the front. I'll bet they haven't even met the band.
What if they become my favorite band, though? Like, we're talking all this mad shit, but I haven't listened to their music. What if we play their music right now and I'm like, oh my God, I love them?
Then I'll see you
You
later.
leave? You'll just
I'll leave.
leave?
I'll leave right
Yeah.
here. No, play it. Can we hear some?
Well, I got to tell you,
Oh, you get in trouble. Yeah.
yeah, we'll probably get pulled from YouTube, right? How do we do this?
You know what? How about this?
They play a little bit, just not.
play a little?
YouTube can't hear it.
Okay, YouTube. Anybody listening to this on YouTube, what's the song? Just tell us what the song is.
I'll just play the first.
But the people on the podcast can hear it, right? Is that how it goes?
The first one that popped up is called Confession.
Jamie might have to do some editing. We're going to get pulled. Can't be using that shit.
I mean, we're
It's
breaking
called
the law.
Confession? It's weird. Here we go. Florida, Georgia line. Confession. 7 million.
Go fuck.
Of 7 million views.
Now, compare that to Sturgill. But keep playing.
This guy's keeping it real.
Now hear that drum or whatever that is.
Oh, that beat. Is that a beat
and he's
machine?
doing the rap. Yeah, he's doing rap. He's rapping. Now you tell me this is country music. Honestly,
It's weird. It's pop music. Like it's like a poppy.
but look at that with the
hip
hand.
hoppy. Yeah, they're doing a lot of hip hop movements with their hands. It's all like they're stealing from black people. It's cultural appropriation.
Totally.
We should
Well,
end it. We should end. Listen, white people have never stopped stealing from black people. They're not going to stop. They're moving into country music.
Was he right though? It's
Yeah.
It's rap for people who are scared of black people.
That's 100% rap for people that are scared of black people. But catchy tune. It probably sold well. Obviously,
It did. Well,
7
sold a lot
million.
fucking more than me. But I'm the like I said, I'm the only one who's. And you were saying people coming at me, which has been happening some, but for the most part, they don't want to piss off the real money makers, so they
Right.
don't want to be associated with that shit.
It seems like there's a lot of country music that's sort of reinforcing a mindset, and it's one of the only music genres that reinforces a mindset. And that mindset is, I'm a simple person, I got a nice truck, I got a good dog, I got a woman, but someone broke my heart, or maybe I love you, maybe I die for you. There's like all these like really noble and really like iconic like country music themes and iconic country music ideas that get pushed in these, and they just get repeated over and over and over again. It's reinforcing the benefits of living in a rural environment. It's reinforcing being near nature and rivers and shit like that, but it's also reinforcing being dumb. It's reinforcing, like, it's all
Keyword there,
God.
dumb, yeah.
You got to have God involved. There's a lot of God involved. And there's some of that shit that I listen to where I go, this can't be real. I don't think Sturgill Simpson is a CIA assassin, but I've listened to some country music songs where I go, okay, this is a fucking cyber plot. This is the government is trying to figure out how to get into people's minds and make them dumber.
Well, the other thing, too, is as a guy from Kentucky, and I'm with you 100%.
Right? It seems like it, doesn't
totally,
it?
It feels like it was made to brainwash us.
It's a psyops. Is that what they call those things? The government's they've created super popular music that enforces the idea of being stupid.
Totally. But also, as a guy from Kentucky, like, I grew up in Kentucky. Most of my family's from Tennessee. And it makes me look like a fucking dumbass that, like, this is not what the South is. I got a lot of all my friends are from the South.
Yeah, well, the South's great, man. I love
it's all the best.
performing in the South.
It's the fucking greatest. But you see this, and that's what reinforce. Not only you said
Exactly.
cultural appropriation, it's reinforcing stereotypes. So I'm going in there and making some real. I actually have less of a problem if they just called that pop music.
Yeah, it's pop music.
Why call?
Because they're given it's pop music with an accent, and that accent is what makes it country.
Totally.
But it's also there's very little bragging. It's not like hip hop. Hip hop is like a lot about bragging. You know, there's a lot of like what
It's
I'm going to do to
hip-hop,
you.
yeah.
There's a lot of what I'm going to do to you. There's a lot of what I own.
Yeah.
What am I going to do to your girl? There's
This is
all
not
that
what
stuff.
this is. Yeah, totally. This
is like
you're right,
this is, I'm together with you forever.
Yeah. I'm never gonna leave you.
I'm never. I appreciate you.
And they're backstage, fucking
Doing blow, banging guys.
jacking each other
Just
off.
69 and
But I
spinning
think
in a circle.
That's the tweet that got me blocked, I think.
Yeah, that'll do it. They're probably not. They're probably nice guys.
I heard they were nice guys, but it has nothing. But and if they are listening, which they're not, but
It's a great job. I'm sure they're happy. They get
they're
7
doing
million
great.
hits.
But it's nothing. It's not them personally. It's just that machine that Nashville's putting out that I'm so against, and I decided that it pisses me off that country music, which I love so much, and I love. But that's not the stuff we've been talking. My
Right.
heroes, Waylon and Willie and
Johnny Cash.
and Merle, who just passed away, and like the
Yeah.
Louvin brothers.
Just passed away.
The Louvin brothers are a band, do this country duo I used to love, and they're singing about. They have this album, Satan is Real, and it almost looks like a joke what they're singing, but it's like.
But they're serious?
But they're serious.
Satan is real?
But they're real. But they're
That's deep.
but they're talking about the struggle of the devil versus like that's interesting to me. Like
Okay, yeah, I know what you're saying.
They know. I'm not. I don't. It's hard to sing what I sing and talk about that. But if they're talking about the struggle between the two sides, then maybe I can listen. But if you're just talking about this is pop music. This ain't country.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided not to censor myself on the record. It's like if I'm going to do real country, and it ain't going to get played on country radio no matter what I do.
Doesn't matter anymore, though, does it? I mean, it
Well,
seems like that. Did you? Please check this because I'm not sure if it's true. Someone at the Comedy Store was saying that CBS is unloading all of its radio properties.
They are. I've heard they're currently exploring options on what to do with their stuff. I don't know that it's officially happening.
Yeah. Well,
or
how
anything
can
like that.
who would be listening to?
Nobody listens to the radio. It sounds like shit. It's not nearly as good as a CD or an MP3 in your car, right? But how's that HD radio? Is that okay?
I've never heard it. But if this was a radio show, what would I be on here for? 2.5 minutes?
Maybe.
And it would be censored. You couldn't talk about the record.
And then we would have to say, traffic brought to you by Petco. Do you have a cute little dog or a kitten? Go to Petco. Get them ground up, murdered animals. We'll be right back. Yeah, we'd have to do those breaks.
I've done a couple of those because country radio literally won't have me on. So I did a couple rock of terrestrial, whatever they call it, rock stations because they were kind of into it. So he's got a new album called Redneck Stuff. It's like they can't even say that. So then it doesn't even help me because they go on iTunes, they can't find the name of the record.
Well, do you remember that CeeLo Green song, Fuck You, that they turned into Forget You? And they kept going. You knew. You would hear it somewhere. And you would go, why did you make a second version of this? What did you do?
Well, that's my thing is 'cause I've been asked the other thing, which, you were kind of getting to. I have been asked many times to make censored versions of these songs, and back to me owning it. No, it ain't happening.
I can't believe they talked CeeLo into it.
Well, but when you're on a major label and they're paying for all your shit, you know,
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
When you're on tour, and that's the other thing where I was talking about, I ain't touring until I got an audience. But like someone like him, and he's on tour with a giant band, and the record company's fronting the bill, but he's got to end up paying it back.
Right.
Fuck yeah, you're gonna put out the censored version.
Yeah.
But if you're not, you know, if no giant corporations behind me, like this is all, you know, this is my label. I could take it off the market today if I wanted to. I'm not going to because I'm on a big podcast here. I want to sell some fucking records, but I could, you know.
Well, I think what's happening with this is there's a lot going on the internet with people just making stuff and selling stuff, just whatever it is. Whether it's like there's people that are doing, like Louis C.K.'s doing that Horace and Pete show.
Well, I heard
decided to.
What did he say on Stern? That he fucking. Did you hear about that?
Spent all his money making this Horace and Pete show himself, and he's selling it on his website.
Just because he wanted to do it.
But also, he wanted to do it himself.
Exactly.
He wanted to have nobody involved, just making it all himself.
That's really, isn't that and same thing with your pocket. Isn't that the lesson really? Is like, why not only do things if you're willing to put up your own fucking money? 2.5 Men, or what you were talking about, that kind of shit. Well, fuck yeah, I'll make it. If the whole thing's a bust, I lose zero.
Yeah.
Well, if this is a bust, I lose a lot of money. You lose money if your podcast goes up, you know?
It's also, they make it seem so easy. Like, if you're going to do a record with some major label, they're going to take care of everything. Wheeler, don't you worry about a thing. Guys with a big cigar is going to get in the elevator with you, bring you up to the top floor. You're going to glad hand a bunch of people. We're really behind this record, Wheeler. We love you. Oh, my God, I'm a fan. I listened to your stuff in the car. I was crying, laughing. Ha, 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 ha. When are you performing? We'd like to see you when you're coming to town. Just total bullshit you. You leave, and then another guy goes in, they do the same fucking thing. They don't really give a fuck about you. They hope that you make some money, and they'll kind of pretend. I mean, maybe they like you, but most likely they just like you
me
as
or not, like you said, it ain't got nothing to do with it. Because
Exactly.
when they heard the record, and I went to the top of those big record companies, and I sat there, and they were loving it. It's blah blah blah. But also, you know, we got to cut this song, and we got to take this line out. And the second they said that, I just said in the room, fucking deal, you know.
Yeah.
I took the meetings. So I figured it's worth taking. You know, I'll listen to them. But that's what, and I will tell you this, and this is a credit to the producer, Dave. When he told me how much it cost, and listen, it was pretty much all the money I had, but it was not the amount of money that it cost to make a record in 2016 is not that much fucking money when you look at it.
Right.
To sell your fucking, the labels will make it cost $1 million by charging you all that fucking bullshit and, you know, ordering pizzas every day that you don't want, and, you know, hiring all these big gun players and shit. People are making albums on their fucking computer. It don't cost shit. You know, I went a little higher, but even that, my jaw dropped when he told me the price. It was, and I don't want to say, you know, say the number, but it was.
How come?
Because I don't want to put him into, you know, like, I don't want people to come to him like, oh, you charged him so-and-so and all that. And also, since then, he's also, his last record, I mean, he's sold millions of records since then, so I'm sure his price is going up. But he's also, I'm not sure if he loved an artist, he'd record him for fucking free. But if he's some big label, you know, he'll take whatever, you know.
Well, aren't music producers in a lot of ways a lot like musicians in that they enjoy making good stuff? And I know a lot of musicians, they'll do each other's albums. They essentially do it for free. They go and they'll do a cameo on each other's shit.
He's the big, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't say enough. I almost feel guilty mentioning him because he's, you know, my album, you know, he does some good shit that's selling. I don't want to, you know, talk about him producing this dirty shit, but he did such a fucking amazing job. I mean, he's such a music fan that he knows, and he's kind of from the South like me. He's had this. I've noticed that people like that, people like Sturgill, Shooter, we all had the same kind of, music-wise, same kind of upbringing, which was grew up in the South, country music everywhere. And you're like, fuck this. I'm not listening to Friends in Low Places or whatever. You start listening to Zeppelin, you start listening to rock, and you start going to all this other. It's all the exact same thing. And then you come back to. Waylon didn't become Waylon until he was late 30s at least. Like that's not music for kids, you know. There's a reason why I didn't get Waylon when I was 11. And you get older and you listen to it and you're like, now I fucking get it. You come back around to it. And that's what happened to a lot of me and my friends. Like, this is as real and as fucking dark and as, you know, as bare bones as any fucking Zeppelin I ever heard. I love Zeppelin too. You know,
Yeah.
it's the same shit, but that kind of shit is not available anymore.
Well,
you know?
it's legit. It's legit if it's a rock song. The Black Keys are legit. You know, there's bands that are just legit. You listen to their shit and you just go, wow. And then there's stuff that you listen to that even if you enjoy it, you know it's heavily produced and someone created it in a pop factory. And it just doesn't hit you the same way.
And the crazy thing is too is like you listen to someone, like you really got to see, and I hate to use it, but like I know Sturgill, just the example we're using. You got to see him live because nowadays they can make anybody sound. He doesn't use the fucking auto tune, but when you see him live, you go, "Holy shit!" He was just singing on the record.
Yeah, I could sing.
You know,
I could go sing some auto tune.
Yeah, with auto.
Hook it up.
You got the look. You got everything you need.
Do some like Peter Frampton shit. Remember we used to do You Feel Like I Do? He was like the first guy to use auto tune, wasn't
Was
he?
that auto tune? I think that was.
Was it a different thing?
A vocal, you know, that thing with the guitar, like.
Yeah.
I don't think that was.
Do you do?
But I mean, no, I've had.
What was it?
Called a talk box.
A talk box. All right. Jamie's
I had a
actually sound
friend
engineer.
who auto tuned a major country pop star,
Whoa.
and he said my voice was fucking better,
Congratulations.
and I said who looked better, and I didn't. I won't tell you the answer.
You don't get a response. Well, I think there's nothing wrong with making those 2.5 Men shows. There's nothing wrong with what we're talking about. But as far as like what interests me, I'm not interested in those poppy songs. It's just it goes in my head, and my head just starts rejecting it. Like, oh, you're eating plastic. Get it out of there. You know, it's like you could live for like a few days off of Hostess cupcakes if you wanted to. You could probably live for a month off of just Hostess cupcakes. I wouldn't recommend it though.
Yeah, I would definitely not recommend that. I mean, that'd be fucking.
How long could you live?
Your brain would probably fucking.
You probably
fry
if
after it.
no protein, no vitamins. How long could you live off Hostess cupcakes?
That's got to be the equivalent of just going without food, right?
That would be a really interesting experiment.
Yeah, they should do
You
that.
know we could do that? Red Band would be willing to do that.
What's that Super Size Me guy? He did. Oh, he just
Yeah.
did fast food.
He did fast food, but if someone just ate
I
Hostess
feel like a lot
cupcakes,
of people just eat fast food. That doesn't really count.
that's normal.
Yeah.
Well, some people, I mean, I don't know, people have criticized that show, that movie, Super Size Me. Like all of his liver damage and all that stuff. They're like, come on.
Yeah. Well, I remember he threw up on day one. I was like,
Yeah.
people go to fast food all the time. They don't fucking barf.
But wasn't
I'm
he
not
like
saying
a
it's good
vegan
for
or
you.
something before that? He was like super
Kinda.
healthy before
Girlfriend
that.
was a vegan chef or something.
Yeah.
But
so-
also, I always get pissed when I see a movie like that, and they're like, and in conclusion, fast food is not good for you. I'm like, oh, thanks. Any more fucking brain busters?
Well, not only that, they say don't eat it every day. You're not supposed to eat it every day. The fast food is supposed to be a guilty thing that you eat when you got no time to do anything else. Like you want to just pull in the Burger King? All right, fuck it, let's do this. That's what it's supposed to be. And
Twice a year, you get hungover and you go to fucking
Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Fine, it's no big deal. They don't. The people there aren't like thinking they're slinging health food. You know?
Yeah, they're trying to catch up to that now, though. You see, like McDonald's has salads. What?
Can you imagine how nasty that is?
Oh my God, their salad. What does it taste like? Like Fukushima
What
lettuce?
if it was like the best salad you've ever had?
It's possible.
Yeah.
It is totally possible.
Like you just only like they're a new sponsor on your fucking show.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any big corporate sponsors on here?
No.
Um,
But I prefer to do it the way we're doing it too. Mostly companies that sell things only online.
Well,
like
that's the
Squarespace and stuff like that.
Oh, I think
The
what's that
website development company.
They do. I've gotten emails from. I think they do my website.
Well, you can make your own website on them. It's super easy to do. But there's like a lot of companies that they're using the internet now and using podcasts as sponsors because they don't have to have a store. They don't have to have like a retail place. They don't have to have a bunch of employees that wear an Abercrombie and Fitch spray. They can just sell stuff online.
I think someone was telling me at the place that distributes the record that 80 more or something more percent of my albums sold have been iTunes and Amazon because
That's amazing.
people can't find. There's no way to. The stores aren't carrying it, and no one can find it. And when I was a kid, and when you were a kid, even if word of mouth got to you about this record, you couldn't buy it. You went in Kentucky. I went to the record store. I remember someone was telling me about the Velvet Underground. I was like, I got to go hear the Velvet Underground. So I went to this local record store in Lexington, and they look it up in the catalog. Like, yeah, it'll be 4 weeks, and we'll get it to you. It'll be 4 weeks to hear what this band sounds like.
So
and
they
then
had
you'd
to buy from a catalog?
Yeah, they had a catalog of every record because no one in there's buying it. So why would they order it?
Wow, so you have to order it, and then you just have to buy it and listen to it because you're not going to hear it anywhere.
Well, that to me is the big thing that's changed music. Like I used to, again, I was, even Lexington, which is not that small of a town, you're an island, really. So you would get Rolling Stone, you read about like the Jesus Lizard. I don't know if you remember that band, really hardcore. They were really cool. And I remember the guy writing about the Jesus Lizard in Rolling Stone said that they're like the real. These is not a joke. These fuckers are fucking crazy, and it's the craziest music. Whatever they said got me wanting to listen to it. Nowadays, you read that you don't need the article. You just click on the fucking music.
Right.
But I had to wait weeks to fucking hear this shit. You can't press on the fucking article, and
Yeah.
it's like the mystery of it's gone. But that being said, the positive is that I can actually sell my record.
Fuck the
and have-
mystery. It's all positives to me.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can sell your record. Also, that like people could start talking about you through Twitter and Facebook and things along those lines, and it just spreads across the whole country like that.
Well, can you imagine even 10 years ago, or if not more, like I'm banned from Walmart. Imagine getting that call 10 years ago.
Devastating.
Devastating.
Yeah.
This wasn't even. It's like
Of course.
it doesn't even matter.
Of course, you're going to be banned from Walmart.
Yeah,
Of course,
like,
it's a
I don't
badge
know-
of honor.
Yeah, I don't.
Right?
I think they probably it's just like they probably banned 50 other records
They probably
that day.
ban everything.
Yeah.
They ban so much shit.
But there's this whole what you were talking about, all the shit they feed you. And listen, it ain't gonna sell a million fucking copies, but there's a section of, the audience that wants real shit, and there's a section of people are sick. I'm sick of the fucking radio. I just want to hear Joe talk to somebody in a fucking conversation. And listen, I'm sure you still do radio, promote shows and shit
I
like
don't
that.
do radio anymore.
You don't? You stop?
I do like Kevin and Bean because they're friends.
Oh
when
yeah,
I'm in
I
LA.
did their charity thing
but
recently. They're awesome.
Most of the time, I'm not doing that much radio anymore.
That's awesome. See,
I talk too much already. I don't want to talk more.
well, that's all. First of all, I'm jealous, but second of all, it's awesome that you got a big enough platform that you don't have to do it.
Yeah, it's super fortunate. But I mean, it's not that I didn't enjoy doing some radio, but the problem is for us, it's in the morning. Like for me, it's always at like 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning.
You're preaching to the converted. Like I got to get up. I've had to get up at 7 to do fucking radio.
This idea that you can only listen to it at a specific time is so fucking stupid. Like, you don't have to do that anymore. We have a way better way of getting stuff
It's
out.
so funny you said that. So
It's so dumb.
It's like, who are they fooling? Like,
Exactly.
Why do you think like podcasts were going to happen no matter what happened? It was just about. I don't know who fucking started, but it had to happen because people want to listen to what they want to listen to, and then when you fucking start up your car again, you want to listen
Takes
where
it
you left
right
off.
where it left off, and
Like,
it just syncs up to your
that's
car.
not
It's so
rocket
easy.
science.
Not only that, you get it with one press of a button. I can go to my podcast. I can go to the podcast app in iTunes. I look at the podcast. I say, "Oh, Wheeler Walker Jr." Boom! I touch it. I can do all this at a red light, and then my car, the light turns green. I start driving, and I'm listening to you like that. It's
Holy-
just so easy.
And remember the old days? You'd go, oh, Stern interviewed Chris Rock. You missed it.
yeah.
Why? What do we leave it?
How did I miss it?
Like, that's not the world we live in anymore.
Exactly.
So fucking get with the time. So there's a lot of people still clinging on to the old, how things used like you said, people need to watch a show at a certain time or listen to the radio. Like,
Yeah.
drive time radio. What the fuck? Who listens to radio on the fucking drive in the morning?
The first thing that switched it up was Sirius XM. Because when it was XM, when Opie and Anthony were on and Howard Stern was on, and what they figured out when they were doing this was like, look, we don't have to have any censorship. We could just say whatever the fuck we want.
Well,
But they started getting in trouble too. Like Opie and Anthony got banned off the air once because they brought in a homeless guy and he started talking about banging Condoleezza Rice.
Oh,
He's talking about-
one of them.
Yeah,
I
didn't
did.
you
I did Opie and Anthony. They were cool. I did one of them, but it's not Opie and Anthony.
Now it's Opie and Jimmy.
Yeah, and they were cool too.
Anthony's got his own thing now. He's got
But yeah, he
Anthony
got
Cumia
kicked.
Radio.
But I remember it was funny too because I think you're right about that. Sirius XM was a big thing because I remember when Stern, who I used to listen to, who by the way I didn't listen to later because Kentucky, my hometown, didn't have Stern growing up. But I started listening to him and I loved him, and they said he's going to satellite radio where he can say whatever he wants.
Right.
And they're like, well, he's not going to be as funny. Half the fun is listening to him trying to talk around it. And then you listen and you go, that's such a fucking. It's so much fucking funnier when he's not. When he's just saying it.
That idea that it's more fun to be
I love
censored is
but
so
I always love
stupid.
when people prove theories wrong.
That's a dumb theory, though. That's like a big.
But I heard. Didn't you hear that all the time? I heard that all the fucking time.
I never heard that. I used to hear that about comedy. But I was always like, whatever. Sam Kinison and Richard Pryor are my all-time favorites. Like, how the fuck can you tell me?
Who's funnier than Richard Pryor?
Nobody was funnier than Richard Pryor. And how can you tell me that beating around the bush would be better than what Pryor was doing? You can't. You can't even say. You have to be quiet.
Well, maybe it was more in the South, but I kept hearing, now that he's not got like the FCC to fight against, and he can, the fun was him trying to get around the censors.
Nah,
and you listen to it and you go, it's so much fucking better now that you don't.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Just to be free, completely free to express yourself without any worry about a word that's going to get you fined for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, you got to remember, like he got sued by the FCC, right? Like he
owed millions,
taken to task. He had to go to court over that shit, and they wound up fining him like ungodly amounts of money, and there was nobody out there with him when he was doing that. Like that's one of the reasons why I'll never criticize that guy. Is like he's like one of the most important pioneers when it comes to radio. Like, if it wasn't for that guy and going out there like that and getting sued and having... That was all during the fucking Bush administration, man, where they were... Those John Ashcroft fucking...
time.
Yeah, those John Ashcroft fucks, man. That guy was scary. All these people that were trying... There was a lot of religious shit behind it.
Well, they're shitting their boots over this fucking record, too.
Oh, well, they would be dying over that record. But he got sued. I mean, he actually had to spend real money and real stress. Imagine the government trying to take you out. All you are is a dirty morning radio guy, and the fucking government's trying to take you out.
You fucking probably get paranoid as shit, too.
You should get paranoid. You fucking should be paranoid. What does it say here, Jamie?
They're all the different fines he had to pay from 1990 to 2004.
Oh my God, this is
some
insane.
Of those so it says he paid them.
Yeah, some of them got paid. This isn't probably the initial fines that they started as either, but I think this is what they got whittled down to. Well,
let's read them off.
Settlement.
1990... He got fined $6,000 from the FCC. 1992, he got fined $105,000 from the FCC. 1992, again, he got fined $600,000. 1993, he got fined $500,000. 1993 got fined $73,000, $37,000, $400,000 in '94, $200,000 in '94. Holy fuck! And then it just keeps going on and on and on.
Look at the last one right there.
Yeah, $495,000 in 2004. 2004.
Isn't that fucking insane?
That's during the Bush administration. After 9/11, he got fined $495,000.
$500,000 in fines for saying bad words.
Wasn't even saying bad words. He didn't even say bad words. He didn't swear. That's what was crazy.
What was it?
Just subject matter. Like talking about farts or piss or shit or something like that. It was so crazy, though. Such a crazy time.
If I were to say that to someone who didn't know, they would think, oh, you mean that the 50s or the 40s? This is fucking 2004.
2004. And
That's
if he
crazy.
didn't go through that, if there wasn't this backlash from the public finding out about it, because everybody I know that heard about it was like, what? How are they wasting our fucking money suing him over a radio show that, by the way, has 20 million people listening to it every morning? It's pretty obvious that people are enjoying this radio show, and when they stop enjoying it, it'll go off the air. That's what the fucking free market is about. But it wasn't about that. What it was about is controlling someone, because it wasn't just his dirty shit. That's not what concerned them as much as his criticism of the Bush administration, his criticism of political policies, and his willingness to say whatever the fuck he wants. He was a dangerous guy because he had too much power.
You think that's what kind of started podcasts? You think that?
No, I don't think that's what started podcasts. But I think that for him, that started the journey eventually to XM. Like he had to Sirius, whatever it was at the time. He had to. Like they were fucking with him constantly, all the time. Like I don't think he gets enough credit for that. It's insanity, man.
Yeah, well, he's
what is this?
He's a hero of mine.
In 2004, what he got fined for? There's that
Talk
guy,
for sphincterine, a product for maintaining anal and genital hygiene.
That
so
guy
it's a gag.
Jack Thompson was going after him. He was doing those things after video games and stuff too. If you remember,
the Tennessee guy.
Yeah, and then he got
Activist and
he turned it
attorney
over.
Jack Thompson supplied the FCC with show transcripts. Oh God.
That's what. Listen, I don't need. That's not what I pay my fucking.
Well, nobody did, but it was.
Government officials to
I
do.
guarantee you, a lot of it was about controlling a powerful guy, because he had talked about running for governor. Remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
But he was going to have to disclose how much money he made, and that's when he decided not to do it. I wonder if he would do that now, because now everybody knows he's got like hundreds of millions of dollars. I wonder if it would even bother
I feel like
him.
the people running now, they haven't disclosed shit.
Well, Trump has. Trump says he's worth more than he actually is. That's what's hilarious about him.
I know, but I'm saying, have we seen the actual
Well,
thing?
Bernie Sanders just released his tax returns, and his tax return said that he made less money last year than Hillary Clinton did for one single speech.
Holy shit.
He made $200,000, and she's made as much as I think $290 for one speech, maybe even in the threes for one speech. I wonder how she negotiates that.
I'll release my fucking returns.
They're like,
how much money I lost.
How many seats is this? It's about 400 seats. Okay, I wound up like, $250,000. What? I just told you there's like 400 seats. Like, how much are we charging these people? And we're gonna pay you that.
It's funny.
like
You remember
$225, I think.
Remember-
I'll take that.
Pearl Jam fighting over ticket prices, like
Yeah.
making sure they don't get to be
Yeah.
$25, and now people are paying $250,000
I know.
to watch a speech.
Well, that is obviously just bribery money. It's just bizarre that she won't release the transcripts of the bribery money speeches.
Anytime you don't want to release something, it's always bad.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
not good. Imagine what she said. They're probably sacrificing babies and shit and lighting owls on fire. They probably
Yeah.
had an effigy and they wore.
Sturgill's probably all over them papers.
Probably he was probably one of the reasons why she kept her mouth shut. She's
Well,
worried
you know
about
what? If
Sturgill.
it keeps his albums coming out, I'm all for it.
Yeah, whatever he's got to do, man. There's a lot of people that need to be shot, right?
Well,
Am I
yeah,
right?
I think
Guys?
no. He's not
Guys?
taking out the good guys. He's taking
Exactly.
he's taking out enemies of the state.
That's what's up, dude. He's like a Showtime drama series assassin type guy.
Oh, maybe they'll make that show.
Can you imagine if that was a show? Sturgill Simpson just running around there. It was like, do you remember that movie where the guy from the Gong Show, Chuck Chuck Berry?
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. It was kind of crazy.
I was half out of it watching that movie in a hotel room in Vegas, and I remember like falling asleep.
I just remember it was, but he wasn't really working. He thought he was working for the government.
Yeah, but it was really weird. It was like, what is this? Like I remember reading it, reading a passage from it too, like it's a book. And I remember reading the passage, going, "What is this? Is this fake? Was he on drugs? Like, what is this?" I never got into it. Though.
We were talking. Speaking of that shit, talking about First Amendment, freedom fighters. One of the a major hero, and people don't know about it, from Kentucky's own Mr. Larry Flint. He did a lot of. I don't think people realize how important. There was that movie made out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I don't think, and people, you get laughed at when you say Larry Flint is a hero of yours because because you love Hustler, and I love Nick, but it's not what I'm talking about.
No, freedom of speech, man.
That he did more for freedom of speech than probably anyone alive right now. That you had to be as fucking crazy as he took that shit to the Supreme Court because he was fucking insane.
And he was rich as fuck.
And he didn't give
It was a perfect amount. It was a perfect timing too, because this is before porn hit the internet and the money kind of eroded.
Yeah.
Back then he was selling those magazines. He was rich from selling magazines.
He was going to lose everything because of a fucking joke.
He really was. Yeah. When I first came to LA, I remember seeing that building. That Flint Publications building. In downtown. It's
Well,
just an enormous, fucking huge
Well,
office
I know
building.
some of his. I don't know. I've met him briefly. I know some of his family members back in Kentucky. But yeah, it's an empire. But also, I think when he dies, it'll come out. They'll be talking about it. There'll be the jokey national news shit. But there'll be some really interesting fucking pieces written about what he actually did because he changed everything. Like this album, literally, I couldn't make this album without Larry.
I
Flint.
agree, and I think that what was going on with him at the same time as what was going on with Howard Stern, they were all real similar. It was real similar, and the government was trying to decide what people could and couldn't do, and the people that didn't get defended were the dirty ones. The dirty magazine guy, the dirty radio guy. For whatever reason, they didn't get defended. Where if a journalist was getting attacked like that for revealing the truth about something, people would be up in arms. The intellectuals would be up in arms. But nobody recognized that it's just as dangerous to tell people that they can't jerk off to Hustler as it is to tell a political dissident that he can't speak out.
That's what they said at the trial. I mean, the Ed Norton guy who played him, he's like, this has nothing to do with whether you like Hustler or not.
Right.
It's no different than any free speech trial anywhere. But by the way, if you rule against this, that it could lead to people being censored in all different forms. But it took something that crazy to get it to the Supreme Court, and someone that fucking crazy. I mean,
it's just too problematic. When you tell people what they can and can't talk about, it's too problematic. If you censor someone for especially like sexual stuff, like you censor someone for putting out a magazine where people have sex in it, obviously people have liked that forever.
You do know what the actual trial was. I'll repeat it. For
it was an
people.
obscenity trial, right?
But they had comic pieces in the magazine, and he did a piece where he said that. This one I may need help, but it was Jerry Falwell, I think. But
see if you can find it. I'm
Look
sure
it up.
it's online.
But you said that before I find out, it was I want to get the guy's name right before I fucking
Jerry Falwell.
Larry Flint.
He was the big guy at the time, right?
I think so.
Jerry Falwell was the guy that got caught with
No.
a hooker too,
No,
wasn't it? Or that's Jimmy Swaggart.
I get them all mixed up.
Jimmy Swaggart cried on TV. It was awesome. You don't remember that?
Oh yeah, I saw
had
that. Yeah, I mean, I used to
sinned.
watch that shit all the time.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing because we all knew that he was a crazy fuck. We knew
Larry,
he was
it's
a
not
crazy
Jerry
fraud.
Falwell. It's Larry Flint and just Google Larry Flint
Yeah.
Supreme Court. Anyway, the point was
Yeah,
he
Larry-
said that this preacher had sex with his mom in an outhouse.
In an outhouse.
Yeah, in the magazine, and
Okay.
it made, like they had a cartoon of it.
Right.
And I went and saw Larry Flint speak because like I said, I'm a big fan of his, and so the guy sued him. Well, it's Jerry Falwell. Okay, that's what I thought. So he said Jerry Falwell had sex with his mom in an outhouse, and there was a cartoon, like a Mad Magazine type
Right.
cartoon, and Jerry Falwell sued him for libel. No, he's like, it's obviously a fucking joke. Like I don't think this
Right.
is fucking comedy. And he sued him, and it went to the fucking Supreme Court. And I went and saw Larry Flint talk, and when the lawyer, Larry Flint said, this is when he knew he was going to win the Supreme Court trial. When his lawyer repeated what the article said, that his mom had sex, that Jerry Falwell had sex with his mom in an outhouse, he saw the judges giggle for a second, and the lawyer stopped him. He's like, and that's when he knew he had the trial won, because the whole point is you laughed when I said it.
Right.
That this guy fucking his mom out in an outhouse. Obviously, how are we going to have an argument that's not comedy when all you fuckers just started laughing? He said from that point on, he knew he was going to win. And it was funny, too. He also said that Jerry Falwell came to him years later, and they became friends. And then he wanted to go do a because I guess he had, maybe not watched his money as much. He wanted to go do a speaking tour with Larry Flint. And he's like, well, I want the biggest Supreme Court freedom of speech case ever get. He said he realized that's when he's like, to Jerry Falwell too, it's all a show,
Mm-hmm.
it was just theater to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can go out and make some money on the road and
We could
talk
debate
about,
each other.
Exactly. And Larry Flint's like, fuck you. I was serious about it. And
It's kind of funny though. I would like to party with Jerry Falwell, find out what goes down.
But when
get
he
a
died,
couple of drinks
they
with
did
him.
become friends. And another one I have to look. I'm almost positive that when he died, Larry Flint wrote maybe for the L.A. Times. I think Larry Flint wrote his obituary.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, they became friendlier later. But it's an interesting trial. You should definitely check out. And the movie sums it up, but you got to get into the details of it, because what they used to do at Hustler was pretty fucking crazy. I mean, besides really getting in there, looking inside the puss and all that shit, they
would
would do
peeing and shit.
but they would do
people peeing on
crazy
each
like
other.
kind of X-rated Mad Magazine type
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
And that was the shit. Ironically, that got him in trouble.
Yeah,
like
that is ironic.
as that it was the sex shit that they were actually pissed about. But
Yeah, but that was what they could catch him on because they were so preposterous, some of them. And they
Yeah.
were so graphic.
that was, I guess,
Yeah.
that must have been the one. That was the guy who.
This is the letter he wrote in the LA Times after he died.
How I find myself in
Oh,
Jerry
there it is. Yeah,
Falwell's embrace.
That's his. That's Larry Flint's obituary.
The article is called "The Porn King and the Preacher." Interesting. His in 1997, he had an autobiography called "An Unseemly Man."
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Look, he sued him for $50 million.
Oh, my
That's why I went to
God.
the Supreme Court. He kept losing.
A case I lost repeatedly, yet eventually won a Supreme Court. Wow, he kept losing it. Now he's hugging me in front of millions on the Larry King Show. Whoa, that's insane. I wonder how much it cost him to fight those off. Because someone's suing you for $50 million. If he lost it repeatedly, each one of those things
That's why I was
cost you a
saying,
shitload
like,
of money.
luckily it was the right guy who was crazy enough, like you said, and had the money to fight it. Because most people wouldn't have fought it once, much less all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's funny. The whole thing's funny.
Yeah, I mean, the real story, it's one of those things where the real story's crazier than the fucking movie. I
Well,
think.
it's crazy that it's such a pivotal moment in free speech history, yet, like you said, it's not something anybody ever talks about, that he actually had to go out there like that.
I mean, they were saying before, they're saying SNL might not exist if he had won that case.
Well, look, if he
Or
gives
Daily
in,
Show or any of that shit. If you can't parody public figures, SNL can happen.
Right.
You can't do the Daily Show,
and we could prove that. and here's a way to prove it. It's sort of a roundabout way, but marijuana is still illegal in 2016 because of some bullshit propaganda that was made in the 1930s. So that momentum carries on, even though it doesn't make any sense. You could still go to jail today for growing pot. So if you think that if Howard Stern didn't have those lawsuits, didn't pay all that money, didn't make this big public outcry, didn't have to go to Sirius satellite radio, if all those things didn't happen and they won, what if they shut him down? What if they pulled him off the air? What if Larry Flint lost and never fought it? What if everything buckled down? How long would it have taken for the internet to happen? How long would it have taken for things like Reddit or 4chan or these fucking uncensored blogs or uncensored YouTube content where you could do whatever you want? Vimeo, all that shit, podcast. That ripple from those two guys is like one of the most important ripples for free speech media in 2016. Yeah. It's one of the most important, like, pivotal moments in the history of free speech.
And we're talking about that.
It's amazing, right?
It's fucking crazy. And crazy that we're talking about an X-rated record that I own on a podcast that you own.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have been fucking, like, this whole world.
The whole thing wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have been able to do that record. No way. Like, no one would have found out about it.
Here's the bigger, even though I make fun of, like, those Florida Georgia Line guys.
There's some nice guys. They're handsome.
But we have a choice, at least.
Do you think they shave their pubes?
Oh,
yes.
I think they shave each other's pubes.
They manscape the shit out of that box, right?
Oh, dude, they got the best fucking dude. I bet if there's like a little hair even on the head or around the shaft.
Do you ever get a shaft hair? Those are weird. I shave those immediately. I don't like that.
Yeah, it kind of freaks me out. I got in a couple.
It freaks me out. I don't like a shaft. What if it just starts happening? Like, I have ear hair now. Didn't have ear hair when I was young. What if my shaft just starts growing hairs all over it?
Non-stop.
Just non-stop, like a wolf man.
It gets, every time you shave it, it gets fucking hairier.
Thicker. Yeah, it gets like
what if it happened on the head? What if it happened on the head?
Oh, that'd be crazy. What if that's what girls like?
Somebody's got dick hair on there.
Someone, sure, like some fucking big Russian dude, some Russian bear type character, some dude from like Dagestan or something, some manly man.
If you've got, and this is, I'm being serious here. If you got hair on the head of your dick, you call me because I got it. My second album, I'm looking for a cover. That'll be it. It's called dickhead hair.
It's gotta happen. There's some people out there that are so hairy. There's like there's this Russian wrestler. I forget what his name is, but he fights in MMA. We were talking about him on the podcast recently because he's entering into some grappling tournaments. God damn it, what is his name? I've only seen him compete on YouTube. He's just gorilla
and he's got
strong.
Hair on
everywhere,
like a head of his dick?
Gorilla. He's gotta have some.
Wasn't that a Paul Simon song? Hair on the head of his dick.
I think that was one of his best songs.
It's catchy as shit, man. I mean, you sing around your parents, they yell at you, but it's a good song. Yeah, that was Diamonds on the Sole of His Shoes. Never mind. I get those two
different songs.
I get those two songs mixed up all the fucking time.
Yeah, totally different song.
Well,
but
I
for sure,
there's
a guy out there. I don't know what Jamie's gonna try to find this guy, but yeah. Well, it's weird that we still have hair in weird spots on our body, like that. Most of the body like loses its hair in some strange way, except for the head and other weird spots like the pubes. Like, what the fuck is going on with the human body in the first place? It's so strange looking.
I remember reading an article about Iggy Pop back in his old Stooges days.
Yeah, there's the dude.
What's that?
There's the wrestler dude. Look at the hair on this motherfucker. His Georgy Ketoev. I mean, this guy's mostly a gorilla. That dude's mostly a gorilla. Look at that.
I ain't messing around. Get this on the fucking camera.
You got some hair, too. Look at that picture, though.
Jesus.
That's a goddamn gorilla. This dude's a gorilla. And he also has a Spanish bullion around his neck. From the Pinta, I believe.
I think he bought it from Florida Georgia.
He took it from him. Give to me, or I break neck.
Well, you're talking about hair you need? Because I've never forget the article I was reading about Iggy in the Stooges, and Iggy Pop... he was on drugs, whatever, put glitter all over his face. And he shaved his eyebrows, put glitter all over his face, and then he went on stage. And it was so funny. The guitarist goes, and that's when we realized why you had eyebrows. Because he was sweating, and all the glitter was getting in his eyes. So he would keep jumping up. It's like... Oh,
so he's getting glitter in his eyeball?
In his eyeball, because he thought it'd be cool to shave his eyebrows. It's like, you don't think about that shit till you get it.
That must be brutal. Glitter in your eyeballs? Holy shit, how do you clean that out?
He's Iggy Pop. He can do whatever. He's probably still in there.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's touring right now.
Is he?
He just made a new record.
That guy, I'd like to find out what he eats. He's got to be on a ketogenic diet. He's always super lean.
Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age?
Yes.
He just did his new record.
With Iggy Pop?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a new Iggy.
Oh, that would be amazing.
It's really good.
See, they're a great example. Queens of the Stone Age are a great example of a band that's really hard to pin down. Like, say, what are they like? You'd go, ooh, man, I don't know. they've got their own thing going on, man. There's certain Queens of the Stone Age songs where you listen to like a part of it and you go, oh, that's Queens of the Stone Age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just know. Look at that.
There they are, yeah.
Bam. Iggy Pop still looking good. The guy's always shredded. I always wonder, like, is that just from running around on stage? Does he exercise?
I saw him once when they did the Stooges reunion. I've never seen a guy give it. He was better than Jagger, I thought. I'd never seen a guy give it his all like that.
Well,
he still fucking rocks.
Rarely hear people talk about him. Look at his skin. He's like a leather-bound book that they find in a cabin to summon demons.
At that age, still giving the middle finger. Yeah.
Well, that's important. Never give up on the middle finger.
Yeah. It never gets old. Huh?
How old is he?
I don't know. He's got to be.
But he's in that ageless area.
Yeah, but
he
did a lot of shit with
Iggy
Bowie,
Pop.
and he's got a. How old was Bowie? Mid-60s?
What does it say, Jamie? Doesn't say? Does it say his birth? What?
No.
Come on, son. Go to Wikipedia. It says his fucking birth. What does it say over there? How dare you? 1968. What are you trying to pretend he's a mystery?
Usually it pops right up on Google and it just doesn't.
Yeah, but you just can't assume that it's not out there.
He's almost 70, right?
Yeah, he's almost 70.
That's people still rocking out almost.
Yeah,
70.
he's an animal. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was cool. The Queen, like you were saying, Queen of Stone Age does whatever the fuck they want. I'm sure there was no one who was like, "There's a bunch of money for you. Go produce and tour."
But they're on a label, right? Aren't they?
No, well, they're on an indie label.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder how much influence an indie label has on them.
None, because they can do whatever.
Well, that's the future.
We'll see. Yeah, I mean,
you don't need people anymore, and it's also the people that were there. They didn't exactly serve the best interests of the work. The people that are making these pop songs, like they put together a band like Menudo or something like that. Why Menudo? Where did I come up with that?
I kind of like that example.
Who remembers them? Do you remember Menudo?
I remember.
But Milli Vanilli or something like that. This is a perfect example of just a creation. I mean, they weren't even singing the real songs, right? That's just a creation. You get two handsome black
and they were
dudes.
also the only ones who got busted. There's millions of those.
You think so? There's a lot of people that got busted that did the exact same thing as they
absolutely.
did?
I mean,
how did they get busted?
They got busted because one of the guys
found Jesus.
Something like that, I think. But he came clean. He said, "I can't go up there and perform these songs anymore."
Really? Wow.
And he just came clean.
He must be like, I hate pussy and money.
I'm pretty sure during one of their concerts, their playback skipped, and that's how they.
Well,
got
that happened
caught.
to what's her face on Saturday Night Live too.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. I think there's video of it.
But that shit happens all. Who's the girl who skipped on SNL?
The girl who's
Ashley
the
Simpson.
sister,
Ashley
the girl with the giant tits.
Yeah. So they're trying to say.
That's how my brain works.
By the way, that's how your brain works. But
You know what I was talking about, right?
Yeah, in a second.
Jessica Simpson, right?
You giving me a name, I wouldn't have known it.
Boy, what a body that girl's got. Good Lord. That's a perfect example of why someone should stay thick. Have you seen her lately?
Is she married?
Yeah, she's married to some football player dude. No disrespect, sir.
Fuck.
But if you watch the
why the fuck I make this record? She's already married.
Yeah, there's other ones like that. That's good stock. That's good Southern stock.
Yeah.
She's probably from Canada. Where is she from? Texas? That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
I knew. Shit.
Hey, I think I'm doing some. Am I doing dates? There were some Texas dates up there.
I hope so. How dare you not?
Well, we're gonna do that. I do know we're not doing Southeast until they want me to wait till. There'll be Southeast dates up there. Where
How come you're waiting?
They wanted me to wait. That one actually I listened to people on. They said wait till school's back in because a lot of younger, all those SEC schools, Kentucky,
okay.
Alabama, Georgia.
That makes
Florida.
sense, right? You got to be in their town.
And also, I didn't want to do too many dates at one time because my fucking voice will go. And also, I just don't. I'm not doing those giant. I want to go for a long weekend, come home. I can't do it.
Right.
I'm too old. I can't do those fucking long tours.
I hear exactly what you're saying.
How long do you? You only go out for long.
A couple days at a time.
Yeah.
I don't go. I don't do these. Duncan does though. Duncan's doing a 30-day tour right now. He's a maniac. He got a bus, the whole deal. I don't do that.
No
I did it
fucking
once.
way.
It's not fun. It's not enjoyable.
Was it
man.
fun for at the beginning or?
No, the shows were fun, but it's too many days where you wake up, you stare at the ceiling, you have no idea where you are. You're like, where am I?
Fuck my friends. All my friends who are musicians who do that. Just like, especially now that we're getting older, and the young, but it was crazy. Even when they were young, we were younger. I was like, man, you're living the dream, and they're just like, I know I'm supposed to be enjoying this, but it's just not fucking fun.
One thing that helps is to do it with people you really like. That helps a lot.
There's lots of stuff that helps, but there's still, when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, getting fucked up, getting pussy, playing rock and roll, playing country, whatever it is. Sounds like the ultimate life, and these people not having fun doing it.
Well, they also should get a fucking real job and remember what it's like to have to go somewhere every morning.
Oh no, yeah,
and work all day for someone that sucks. It's just easy to get complacent.
Oh,
and it's easy to not feel gratitude.
I used to spend my summers as a farmhand back in Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah. And
what kind of farms?
Mostly horse. In Lexington, there's a lot of like rich fucks who just buy these giant. They're not like really working farms. They're just like they build themselves
like Kentucky Derby type shit.
Yeah. They just like. You forget that with horse racing, it's one of the only sports where the owner is like the main guy. So you can. I've made billions. I've always loved horses. Like you can win. The person they put on the screen when the horse wins the Kentucky Derby is the owner.
Right.
So you can something you can buy yourself into it. You're like, oh, I've always loved horses.
The Kentucky Derby, the owner's the rider?
Not the jockeys. But I'm saying
right.
You don't know the jockeys. You know who the fucking owner is.
Right. That is weird, right?
It's the only sport where you know the real.
But he's not on the horse, but he's winning.
And he didn't train it. He has a trainer.
He didn't do a damn thing.
They show the trainer, they show the jockey, they show the horse, but the real person they interview is the owner. So you buy a big farm in Kentucky, have some dumbass like me, like weed eat or whatever.
Did you ever read the Kentucky Derby is decadent and depraved?
Oh, yeah. Hunter S. Thompson, another Kentucky guy who's a hero of mine.
The best. He was the best.
I mean, that's what started
what a barbarian he was.
Fucking insane.
He was the best. And there's some pieces that he wrote to this day. I'll read and I'll go, fucking Christ.
I still think, Fear and Loathing is one of my favorite books of all time.
Fear and Loathing is outstanding. And you remember when they did that thing where Johnny Depp read the passage that he talked about, like the change that was coming in the 1970s and how it all pulled back and that he saw it all happen? I mean, he was the perfect guy to capture.
Oh, and the movie was fucking great, too.
Johnny Depp was the perfect guy, but I mean, Hunter was the perfect guy to capture because he had been in the 60s in Berkeley during the acid times and, the Timothy Leary and the Merry Pranksters and all that shit. He had been with those guys and the Ken Kesey's. And then when it all pulled away and everybody just got locked up and went to jail and the war on drugs and all the things happened, he saw this death of the American dream and he put it so eloquently. And then Johnny Depp, pretending to be him, did it for a scene in that movie, and it's fucking sensational.
I wonder too if it's because Johnny Depp's also from Kentucky. I wonder
if he's also a good friend of his.
They were friends and knew. Yeah. And if you're from the same place and you're friends, it kind of probably seeps into you a little bit. But
certainly helps. And Johnny stayed with him. Like when he was doing that movie, he stayed with him for a long time. He lived with him.
But that book is a perfect example of like real just. First of all, laugh out loud, funny shit. The funniest shit you've ever read.
Well, how about the way it opens up?
But so fucking, he goes deep emotionally. You forget he goes fucking deep in that.
Yeah, it is a great book. That's his. Well, between that and there's a few things that he wrote, like small pieces that he wrote too, that just go. Ugh.
There were some pieces right before he died that he wrote. I think it was on ESPN's website that were like, kind of. Predicted the whole world that was going to happen.
Yeah, that was after 9/11.
Yeah, check out those articles, man, because it was it was almost like he checked out because he knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, he saw it come. Well, he was also like a serious alcoholic to the point where when he was almost dead, you couldn't even understand him anymore. He would do shows. He would do like Conan or not Conan. He did Conan. He did Conan. Actually, was one of the worst where they went out shooting. They went to Woody Creek and they went shooting, and Hunter was fucking hammered the entire time. They're shooting guns in Colorado, and you literally can't understand a fucking word he's saying.
Well, he would get up and just get fucked up all fucking day.
He was so fucked up though that it was like he had poisoned his brain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he had also been on serious pain pills because he had hip replacements. I think both of his hips went bad, and back then, dude, when they were doing hip replacements, it ain't like today. Like those hips weren't so good. Like today, they've got it down pretty good. Where I've had some friends that got hip replacements and they don't feel any pain. It's amazing. It's just they replaced this socket with an artificial socket.
Like that used to be the old thing. It's like major surgery. You don't hear much.
Well, dude, Graham Hancock was in here 6 weeks after he got a hip replacement, and he was walking without a limp. I was like, how is that fucking possible? And he's like, it's crazy. And Graham was like in his 60s, right? How old is Graham? I think he's like maybe 60. At the very least, he's in his late 50s, and he got a hip replacement.
I remember when old people used to get, had to get hip replacements. It's like how you do. They were about to check out.
Yeah, man.
And now
it was an ugly, ugly, ugly operation. when they did it, they'd saw off your fucking femur and screw a bolt in there, and it's like there was a rod that had to go deep in your bone, and your bone has to take over that rod. And how old's Graham? 65. So he's probably 62 or 63, and he got his hip replaced. And 6 weeks later, he's walking without a limp. It's crazy.
That's all. I mean, yeah, they're fucking.
I have a buddy who's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's in his 30s. He got both his hips replaced in his 30s, and that's just from just training.
So how long
wrestling.
ago would that surgery take you out? Probably 10 years ago, like you couldn't even do it. Really?
Yeah, 10 years ago you'd be done, and everything after that you'd be done. You'd be fucked. You'd be in like real problems.
Well, what's the guy? Because I watch a lot as any Kentuckian. I watch a lot of basketball. That guy Paul George. Is he the guy I'm thinking about? Who he broke his leg something awful last. Like he was like, they were like, his career's over, and I think he had like a good he did well this season. Like it was as if nothing had happened. His fucking bone came out of his fucking leg. And
those are dangerous too.
And he didn't he? Isn't
a picture of it?
Sure.
It was during Team USA.
Oh no, I
practice
can't
a
look at
couple
the
years
picture.
ago.
You guys
Close your
look
eyes.
at it, but you.
Oh my God.
He's back now, all-star.
All-star.
Yeah, he's
Damn.
And this is
really
not.
good
This is
season.
named 5. This is last year, right?
His
It
leg
was a
just
couple years
snapped.
ago.
Huh?
2 years
2
ago, and he's an
2 years
all-star
ago.
this year.
That's incredible. His leg just snapped. But now they
my
have all
God.
this
I just
way
looked
of
at it.
healing things. They use all sorts of different methods to accelerate healing. They're getting so good at it. Doctors are just fucking unbelievable at it now. This is an incredible time to be injured. You know, if you get injured now, they fix you in a way that just wasn't available. Like I have 2 replaced ACLs,
Really?
but I have a buddy of mine, my friend Steve, who was on the ski team, the U.S. ski team in the 1980s. And he's a badass skier in the 1980s, and his knees are devastated. He's had, and I would actually have to call him to confirm this, but I know he's had more than 20 knee surgeries.
How do you fucking go through that?
He's an
man?
animal. He doesn't give a fuck. This guy's
Seriously?
crazy. Yeah, he's in his 60s. He still fights. He still goes to the gym and spars. He's thinking about competing.
It's almost like going to the fucking dentist at that point, or
Yeah.
like getting a haircut or something.
He's just an animal. This guy's just. There's certain people that like pain is a non-factor to. It's
Well,
just
I
about
ain't one of those
functionality and
people.
movement. What is that? That's the. Whoa! Look at it poking out of the skin right there. Holy.
Oh,
jeez,
is that the Louisville guy?
Yeah. Wow,
You know
that's hardcore, dude.
You know how hardcore that is?
Yeah.
I felt for the guy, and I fucking hate Louisville. So that
Wow.
means it's serious shit.
That is serious. It looks like it tore through the skin and all the muscle and everything too. Like that is a serious.
That was.
catastrophic
I remember that
injury.
happened. It was live on television.
They were worried about that with the octagon. They're worried about that ever happening. You know,
No.
it's the only breaks we've seen on legs and arms have been non-compound breaks. But I think when it happens like that guy just had it, it becomes more problematic because when it breaks the skin, you have all this possibility for infection that exists. It gets real bad.
Well, I remember them really fast going over there with a towel and covering it up because it was on live TV and they covered it up. So like,
Well, that's because they didn't want people to see it, probably, right?
that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like the first. We live in a world where the first reaction was, get this shit off TV. But
Yeah.
like, why not go to fucking commercial?
Well, isn't it funny, man, that like movies, there's every big action movie that you go to, you watch somebody die. Every one of them.
Yeah, like it's no big deal.
But if people fuck, it becomes a disgrace. It's a real problem. It's a disaster. Like if you actually watch, do you remember that Brown Bunny movie where Vincent, what the fuck's his
Vince
name?
Gallo.
Gallo.
Yeah.
He had a movie where Chloe's
she fucking
sucked his dick in
Yeah.
the movie.
That's the only reason I saw it.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I saw it too.
Yeah.
It seemed like the whole movie was just like getting to the blowjob. Like I was like, blah blah blah. Let's cut.
But why
cut to
can't?
the scene
But why
here.
isn't it in there if I can go home and get on a fucking website in 2 seconds and see all that shit?
Well, I think his idea was, why can't we have a real sex scene? Like if you can have like people kissing for real and rubbing each other for real, but you know intellectually that they're not actually having sex, but it's supposed to be a sex scene. So if you have these two people, Vincent Gallo and Chloe that are adults, and they agree. Like, I think you're attractive, or I'm willing to do this, or I think it'd be cool to do this in the film. I want to actually give you head in this movie. Why is that bad? Like, why do we ever?
So it was real?
It was 100% real. He came on her face and everything. Like she sucked his dick, like a champ. It's outstanding. It just, but it's weird that everybody I assume has gotten their dick sucked. I assume. If you haven't, I feel so bad for you.
If you haven't put out a fucking record like my man, nonstop.
That's what happens. Just nonstop dick sucking.
I can't even put. I wish I had fucking 2 dicks right now.
When you did that video for eating pussy and sucking dick, or eating pussy and
Kicking ass.
Kicking
Sucking
ass.
dick doesn't come into
that
it.
that comes toward the end. That audience, what was going on there? Did they have
Well,
any idea?
I was told by that because I got kind of thrown. They told just an audience that you're just gonna hear you're just gonna watch a real country, a guy just sing country. I didn't know that they had told them that.
But there was only like 15 people in there.
Nah, I feel like there's more like 100, 50, 100, and so they were just waiting for a country song, which I found out later. And then when I got to even the eating pussy, their faces fucking dropped. I knew this is not my best gig. And then I was like, we got to get to the dick sucking, which is gonna ramp it up a notch. And then a couple people walked out and like weren't too happy. But I'll tell you what, it's one for the ages. It certainly got the shit out there.
I was amazed that nobody yelled anything out. Like nobody told you to stop.
Well, I think they were. Someone told me that they were. I think they were extras. So I think they probably lost.
Oh,
Like you probably would have
okay.
not got, because I didn't know I was walking into like a fucking Ali G kind of thing.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm just there to play this fucking dirty country song.
Oh, that's funny. So they just hired some country-looking people.
No, I think they hired people who said they were fans of country music.
Okay, and then they said, "Do you want to be a part of a music video? Just have a seat."
Yeah.
Because you could see like there's a guy here. Paul, why don't you play it, Jamie? Play it.
What's the video called?
It's called "Eating Pussy and Kicking Ass."
And
But-
play them and
but play
play
the-
at least a second from the one on the album. too.
Okay, but the one I want to watch the one where it's from the Ben show. What was the falling out with Ben?
He just fucking out. He didn't even pay me for that.
Really?
I play. He didn't pay me for the music or even the appearance.
That's so rude. But look, you have the last laugh. Here
But
it
yeah,
goes.
what's he doing now?
These people in the audience, they
mean, look
couldn't
at
be
that.
any better.
Look at that.
I like the American
Friday
flag.
night, I just got all.
See, I didn't have a beer at the time, so they're like,
My
"Why don't
boss
you?"
man
And I didn't
is
want
such a jerk.
to. I was scared about
So after
get myself
work,
out there, so I put on a
went
fake
to his
fucking goatee,
house,
so they wouldn't know who I
ate
was.
his wife's
and all that.
pussy and kicked his ass. Eating pussy
Like,
and kicking ass.
Eating pussy and kicking ass.
Eating pussy and kicking ass.
Eating pussy and kicking
these people are
ass.
just not respond. They don't
That's what I do.
know what to do with you. That lady's
Pussy in
perfect.
the morning, pussy in the night. I eat a lot of pussy, then I get into a fight.
Look at her.
Thursday night, I was feeling pretty good. I was walking down the boulevard of Hollywood. I see this young girl, she's smiling at me, so I took her back to my hotel and paid the fee. Took off her skirt, I knew that something was wrong where there's supposed to be a pussy. This girl had a dong. I was bored.
Hold on, keep going a little
I
bit.
paid anyway, I sucked his dick, and then I kicked his ass. Sucking dick, kicking ass,
Sucking dick and
Yeah, but-
kicking ass.
My
Sucking
buddy
dick.
Claire, he didn't like it.
and kicking
Look at her
ass.
closing her ears.
Louder, man.
Sucking dick and kicking ass.
Eating pussy, sucking dick, and kicking ass.
Eating pussy, sucking dick and kicking
Eating
ass.
pussy, sucking dick, and kicking ass.
Oh, I love
I
that
look like a
video.
fucking little kid there.
Did
hey,
anybody get mad at you after that was over?
No, because I just went back to this fucking trailer and I never even talked to him again. Can you go to the version of I want you to hear
Okay.
what a great fucking producer he is.
Okay, go to the there's another version of that, Jamie. That's just the album. You just see the cover photo, and then you hear the music. Same song. Here we go, folks. Here's the produced version of it.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, all right, man. More feeling, buddy. Keep it in when I'm fucking yelling at the band.
Yeah.
This is good.
Friday night, I just got off work. My boss man was such a jerk. So after work, I went to his house. I ate his wife's pussy and kicked his ass. Eating pussy and kicking ass.
Dude, I'm fucking 12 years old. I really am.
Well, that's what happens when you don't censor yourself. You become a kid again, you know?
I'm always like this. This is my kind of music.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, it's bigger than Winona.
That is so ridiculous. I want to hear the second part about sucking dick and kicking ass. Let's keep it going.
Oh, this version's probably long, right? Maybe fast forward to the sucking dick.
Try to find this dick sucking part, please.
When you're in a studio, you kind of milk it.
Is there more verses in this one?
Yeah. Oh man, I went on forever. When it's your money, you just keep playing.
Oh, so you had a bunch of these in this one, not just two. I like that you went right from one to the next in front of those people. It was so.
Oh, here we go. I'm about to do
I see this young girl, she smiled at me, so I took her back to my place and I paid the fee. Took off the skirt, I knew that something was wrong. Well, there's supposed to be a
By the way, and
this girl had
on the end of this, you can hear the band actually get pissed.
I
The
was
studio
bored,
guys.
and since I'd paid anyway, I sucked his dick and then I kicked his ass. Sucking dick, kicking ass.
Sucking dick, kicking
That's
ass.
right.
That's the drummer, Chris, on the background. How good does his voice sound? That low voice.
Sucking dick, kicking ass.
Eating pussy, sucking dick, and kicking ass. Come on, buddy.
Pussy sucking dick, kicking ass.
Eating pussy, sucking dick, and kicking ass.
Pussy sucking dick, kicking ass.
I'm over here sweating.
Oh, listen.
God damn it! Fucking play, motherfucker! Where'd everybody go?
Play. God.
What are they mad about?
They didn't know I was going. It's the same thing because they didn't watch that clip. They didn't know where I was going. But there's this song "Sit on My Face." It's the one that people keep
So
requesting.
they literally didn't know where you were going with that song?
Well, they knew they.
The record people.
No, there's no record. I mean,
I mean, the
it's
people
me.
you were doing it with.
I
like
told the producer like, don't tell. It's getting pussy kicking ass, and don't tell him about the.
Oh, don't tell the
Don't
other
tell 'em-
artists.
Don't tell the drummer, guitar player,
okay.
and the, bass player, that it's going to go to the sucking dick because they hadn't seen the clip.
And
So
they
they
got
love
mad.
they loving the song, and they still like they still love it. But it would be funny to I thought it'd be funny to fuck with them because I always just like fucking with people, and I don't know what was he talking about?
He didn't even get high. Sit on my face.
Oh yeah, it's a new one. People are always request.
Here we go.
But listen to how fucking this is on country shit, man.
You ain't much to look at, and you can lose a few. You got saggy titties, but tonight it'll do. 'Cause we learned a lesson a long time ago. Beggars can't be choosing when the bar starts to close. Sit on my face 'cause I ain't too picky and ride my mouth till your pussy gets sticky and all.
I mean, that's some good country shit,
It's good.
You tell me there's better country music out there now, right there.
The music is good.
Well, we got it's the best
That's-
fucking record out there right now. I'm telling you.
But what's good is like the sounds are good. Like I like the way it starts. It's like it's
I
cool.
don't
It
know,
pulls you in.
It's like I said, best producer, best players in Nashville doing this, and they had a fucking blast. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna get banned from Music Row, but I don't give a fuck.
Who cares? They
Yeah.
don't, they're dead. They're all dead in the water.
Yeah.
Can't sell records anymore. Nobody sells records. You sell things on iTunes.
Exactly.
Nobody's buying records.
You and my
What percentage of records actually get bought? How many people have a CD in their house anymore? It's none. It's all gone.
I don't even know how to get the CD onto my fucking phone anymore.
I have had 2 cars in a row where I had a 3-year lease where I never put a single fucking thing in the CD holder. You know the little CD slot? It's in 2 fucking cars in a row. 2 leases, 3-year leases. So I haven't used a CD in 6 years at least.
You want to hear something funny? So like you're saying, it's about selling the other shit. So
Selling them on iTunes. People buy them on
well,
iTunes.
all that,
but like physical
also
shit.
we're talking about like merch. So we have that shirt I gave you with the logo on it, and a bunch of people kept emailing me to that they. I wish I had an example of it, but they kept buy it. They kept emailing me that we don't have fat fuck sizes. That was what their literal words.
I get that at higherprimate.com
Yeah.
too. People always get mad at
fat
me.
fuck. So I call the merch people and I go, make some fat fuck sizes. And they're like, you mean like XXL? I go, yeah. They go, also, underneath in red letters, I want it to say fat fuck size under the logo.
Whoa.
And they're like, seriously? I was like, yeah. If you're fat fuck, you gotta wear
Wear
that shit.
proud.
We can't keep them in stock. You can buy a Wheeler Walker on my fucking whatever merch store. You can buy a Wheeler Walker. Not only can you buy fat fucks, if you're a fat fuck, you can't buy the regular shirt. You have to lose the weight, or you got to buy fat fuck size. Every double XL, triple XL says fat fuck size, big red letters. underneath.
Beautiful.
And like I said, we can't make
keep them in stock. I bet a lot of girls like sleep in them, like 90s.
Yeah, I mean, you should see. One girl sent me a picture of her in the shirt. It goes to her fucking feet. You know, it's like she put a belt around it and go out for the night like it's a dress.
So you were about that far away from quitting music. There it is, fat fuck size.
Okay, only $20.
That's a good deal, dude. You were like that close to quitting music, and now everything is happening.
No. This is it. This is my parting song. I'm gonna play my final show, and we're gonna I'm gonna go back to Kentucky, live on farm, try to had X and all that kind of bullshit. And I was like, this was my parting gift, as like a game show or something. And then I got a call, actually it was before it came out. They're like, we think it's gonna sell. And my manager is a fucking piece of shit, dumbass. But he's like, and he was about to move on to find another job himself. And then it's you going into the studio, not giving a shit, putting out an album about how fucking shitty your life is and how everything's gone to shit, and not giving a shit what people think. This is the one that's gonna work, So he called. He's like, it's like I said, we had a bunch of pre-sales too. Like I guess on iTunes you can buy it before it comes out. So we knew before that week. They're like, the pre-sales, like you're not the number. My people called Amazon and iTunes thinking there was a mistake on both of them. They're like, because we only put out a couple songs on YouTube. How is it selling this fucking much? Like, is a decimal point in the wrong place? And Amazon asked for a new shipment. We didn't even have the fucking CD. We had to go print more. We made like 1,000 or something.
Are you gonna do another one?
Fuck yeah.
You gonna keep going?
No, the thing is, I was gonna quit, and now it's like, fuck that,
Well, this seems like it'd be fun to write this shit too.
Well, that's why it is. Well, that's the whole point. Is making music and writing songs is supposed to be fun, and when you write from the heart and you write without censoring yourself, the unfun part is trying to fit your nasty thoughts into something clean. That's where it becomes unfun.
Do you think you're gonna do a musical video for which one of you queers gonna suck my dick?
I'd like to. We're talking to Spielberg about it right now, but I don't know if he wants to do it. It's just a budget issue right now.
Where do you want to do it?
What?
California? Want to do it in like Santa Monica?
Well, it's up to him. I think maybe I'd love to do it in Europe somewhere.
Somewhere in Europe would be good. Yeah, like really Euro gay guys.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do it the right.
That's the right way.
That's a song you don't take that shit lightly. You do it the right way, or you don't do it.
There are different kind of gay people in Europe, right?
What do you mean?
They wear better clothes. They're like.
You mean a higher class?
Super coiffed.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. The ones
they wear makeup. They have their hair done right.
Maybe I will do it in Europe. Then.
Do it. Yeah.
I'm all
like
over
a Bruno thing. Remember Bruno?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Ollie G.
That was a fucking funny movie.
Ollie G's the best. But I heard his new movie, like people didn't dig it.
I saw it.
Did you like it?
It was pretty fun. I mean, it was funny, yeah. But it was the problem is when you compare it to the shit he does, you can't compare a movie. It's like the other shit wasn't a movie. This is like it's just a real. It was funny. It was dirty, Like,
it's actual drama comedy. It's like a comedy.
It's just like a comedy, yeah. But
film
it's like,
scripted.
It wasn't like
right
ground.
Like
it wasn't like you're living it.
Like Borat.
Yeah, I think I can
Borat was so ridiculously funny.
Fuck, that movie was funny.
It's a problem because it's so ridiculous, and he'd have a really hard time doing that again. It's almost like to do that, he's got to not do it for years, and then people forget about it, and then go back in and do it again.
He did something at the Oscars this year. He presented an award, and I guess he had to agree to not do any sort of thing. He was just going to be himself, but he snuck in his character using his wife and did it anyway.
Way.
And it was a funny bit.
You was funny. Someone, if you've seen this clip, someone showed me this. It was fucking. My brother actually showed it to me. He got this Charlie Chaplin award. Did you see that thing?
Charlie Chaplin award?
It was a couple years ago. They gave him this award for there's like a Charlie Chaplin award for like greatness in comedy or something.
Huh.
And he did this bit. I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it, but it was the funniest fucking thing I've seen. You find that? Can we watch
I mean,
it?
I don't know if we could play it or not. It's got
Probably
a lot.
not.
It's got over 4 million views.
Yeah, we'll get pulled.
So go
Okay.
ahead and look it up. It's on the BBC.
Well, tell people
America.
what is the title of the video again?
It's, Sacha Baron Cohen kills presenter and accepts award. They extended. I guess I just gave away the
Well, then can I tell you-
Britannia Awards on BBC America.
Can I tell you what happened
Yeah,
then, or you
sure.
want to, or do I ruin it for him?
You probably ruin it for everybody.
Well,
But do what you want to do, man.
I don't.
That's
wanna
what you're
ruin it.
into.
But you check out the video; it's really fucking
Okay,
funny.
I'll definitely check it out. It's a good time for crazy shit. You know,
it's the
This is the perfect
You
time
know
for you
what?
to come out with this album.
What I say every day is the new best day for this crazy shit
Yeah.
because every day people give less of a fuck, and because I mean, the honest truth is, I met the producer, and I talked to Sturgill, and I said, I asked about because he was the only guy I knew who knew Dave. I go, what's is he cool? He goes, he don't give a fuck. Hired right there. Don't give. That's in these nowadays. That's the ultimate compliment you can give me about anyone. And he meant it as a compliment too. And
right,
so
those are the people you want to hang out with.
all I care about is people who, I'm sure your audience knows, but there's people out there who think the phrase "don't give a fuck" is a negative. Like I don't care. I care too much that I need someone who doesn't care about the other shit.
It's changing.
Yeah.
That phrase is changing. It's a different thing now. Like not giving a fuck was like you were an idiot or a
Yeah.
loser. Oh, he doesn't give a fuck. He's a dummy. But now it's like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but now, exactly. Listen,
Yeah.
I could get banned from Nashville. I could but I don't give a fuck because I'm making the record I want to make.
Well, it's just amazing that that's how it worked out. That this thing's taken off because you just said fuck it. Let's just go all in. And like I said, this is like the perfect time. The perfect time to go all
but
in.
it's just, and I hate to bring it back to you, but I'm here. But you didn't do the podcast to get listeners. You just want something you wanted to do.
Just did it for fun.
You did it for fun. I did this record. I was just like, I want to do it for fun.
That's when things are good, man. When you
Totally.
you actually enjoy them. Like that shit is making me laugh. And
Even
I know
it
must
was
be
actually
making
the
you laugh.
opposite, which is I assume no one's gonna ever hear this, so I'm just gonna go fucking all out. So actually, got kind of not scared, but like when it debuted, like I said, number 9 on the Billboard country charts, outselling all the big boys. I'm like, holy fuck, what the fuck do I do now? Because then you got to double down and make it go even crazier.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and then that's when, because then they're like, you're real fucking. Does he walk it like he talk it? So I get on my Twitter and I fucking rip on Nashville, rip on the music business, rip on all these fuckers.
And that's how you're getting banned.
I'm getting banned, but I don't go.
So these Florida
Don't give a
Georgia
fuck.
line guys, they got mad at you. They blocked you.
They blocked. So there's a new guy. I don't even remember his name. He blocked me too. I got blocked by who's Megan? Is Megan Trainor? Is that her name? She
Megan
fucking-
Trainor.
She's not country. She's
All about that bass. Is that
Oh,
song.
she
yeah.
blocked you.
She fucking always said. Those promoted tweets that are on your fucking thing.
Right.
I said, get this shit off my page, and then I got blocked. That's not much to block me.
Promoted tweets are sneaky as fuck, aren't they?
I know, but it said promoted tweet, so I go, I seen this fucking tweet 18 times today. I get it. She got a new fucking album.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't mind like a promoted Instagram thing because I feel like go ahead.
well,
I'm getting it all for free. We're getting it all. You gotta get money out of this somehow.
No. Listen. I've done. I don't think I did a promoted tweet on Twitter, but I've done it on Facebook, and like half the comments are like, "Get this shit." It's the same thing as me, but I don't block them.
I gotta take a picture of you while you're here. Speaking of Instagram, bam, legit, bam.
Yeah, I gotta do it too. Hold on, how do I do this shit?
Don't you know how to do it?
Yeah,
You
but
know how to do
we gotta
Instagram?
go take a picture together.
We'll
huh?
do all that, man.
Okay.
I just wanted to get a picture of you in the moment. That's my new thing. Let's get someone in the middle of the podcast. No posing before the podcast.
No, but I wanna
this conversation's going down, right, Jamie? Yeah. That's why we started doing the pictures for the podcast. And we used to have this pose, which I always felt was weird. I was like, why don't we just have one in the middle of us talking and use that? And that way you could see what a mess this place is, too. It's chaos to my left here. You got a picture? Eating
think so.
pussy. And kicking ass. Eating pussy. And kicking ass.
I'm trying to. I can't.
That's a
figure this fucking
catchy
shit.
goddamn song.
Well,
man.
that's.
Eating pussy.
I
and
think
kicking
"Fuck You
ass.
Bitch" is the catchiest song.
I disagree. I'm telling you, eating pussy,
Well, that's
kicking
the
ass
fun of it.
makes me sing all day long. I sing that shit all the time. Eating pussy, and kicking ass.
It's different strokes. Everyone's got different favorites.
Yes, different strokes for different folks.
It's funny too because you never like when you make a record. You just like. I thought about not putting that song on. I was like, people have heard it on that other show before. I was probably not going to put it on the record, And that's one of the people, you know, there was a
Right.
couple songs that the ones that people liked the most were the ones I was like, I don't know if I want to record. Probably happens in comedy too. Like, I don't know if this joke's,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a throwaway joke, and it ends up getting the biggest fucking laugh of the show.
You never know when you actually write something out. That's what's funny. You know, you write things out and you go, this part don't work that good. And that part gets this huge fucking laugh. And you're like, oh. Like, it's weird. It's weird what people like. You know, some songs, I mean, it's got to be there's some songs that you don't think are your best songs and people will pull you aside. Like with Sturgill, it's a You Can Have the Crown song.
Yeah.
He fucking hates that song, man. I'm telling you, dude, I listen to that song all the fucking time.
I love it too, yeah.
That song is one of my all-time favorite songs, and he doesn't even like it.
It happens all the time. Yeah, I mean, like, well, the title track, Redneck Shit, I try to talk. He finally talked me into recording because it's my demo, you know, because it's weird because it's your song.
Right.
So when someone's telling you that your song is, it's like and you're telling them it's not, it's like a weird argument. You're arguing about yourself. I go, let's try it. And it was so good that I put it the title track, first track on the record. You know, like, he was right, you know.
Right.
But that's why you need that second voice sometimes. That's
Well,
what producers-
Redneck Shit is a good one, too. It's like a good introduction song to what you're doing. And having it be the first song is smart. Because if someone listens to that, then they'll get hooked. And then by the time they get to eating pussy and kicking ass, they're already in.
Well, that's what I've noticed. If you look on iTunes later, like, every fucking country record on iTunes, it's all 5 stars because everyone who buys it on the ratings, they all buy it, they know what they're getting, they love it. I'm the only one on there, like, literally, it's 5 stars, 1 star, 5 stars, 1 star. and I promise, because it's like, this is not what country music's supposed to be. You can't curse in country. And I'm telling you right now, those 1-star fuckers are selling my album way more than the 5-star fuckers.
Of course.
They're telling, what was like from that private parts, you know, it's like, I'm paraphrasing, but the 5-star people are telling 3 friends, the 1-star people are telling 20 friends.
Right.
You know, and they're the ones getting the word out.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why they think it's so. No one. I love country music so much, you know, and those my heroes so much that I hate to see what's happening to it. And then those fuckers who listen to this dog shit, fucking pop rap garbage, are yelling at me that I'm disrespecting country music. I go, this is fucking country music, you know. If you don't like, if you don't like the word fuck, or you know, that's fine. That has nothing to do with what I'm doing. But if you think that it's not legit because I'm cursing or talking about fucking
Sucking dicks.
yeah, or like there's Family Tree's a song about my girl that I like her sister better. But then all you do is you just add to, you know, it's like I'm dating this girl, but I want to fuck her sister. But then of course I take it a step further. You know what? Fuck you. I'd rather fuck your uncle and your fucking dad. You lick your fucking dad's balls. You know, and then you go crazy and it's like.
Jesus.
You don't really want to do that, but it's just funny to think about it.
Right.
So then you go record the song, and of course, you know, the players and like, what the fuck are you saying about? But it does make the point. I mean,
Right.
there's a song on here called "Can't Fuck You Off My Mind." How many? It's just a "Can't Drink You Off My Mind."
Right.
What they used to say, and now it's like you've been through that. Everyone's
had a heartbreak.
But, you know, and you try to fuck some other girls to get over it, and all you're doing is thinking about the first girl. Try to fuck a bunch of girls, and it never works. No one else could.
No, it works. You got to fuck the right girls.
Well, I fucked the wrong ones, but
If you fuck the right ones, you don't even care about the other one.
but don't you think that's something people can relate to at the very
Definitely.
least?
Definitely.
So they can't sing about that. Another thing too is mainstream press, especially, except for a few places, pretty much like there's no reviews of it really anywhere. But one guy wrote a review, and I thought it was pretty interesting. He actually used that Florida Georgia Line as an example. I wish I could remember who it was. It might have been a blog called Saving Country Music. I think that's what it was. And they used an example of a Florida Georgia Line lyric that was like talking about sticking my pink in your straw. It was like kind of talking. He was saying in an article about how like these mainstream guys who talk this dirty shit but sugarcoat it, and little girls are hearing it.
What are they saying? You stick your
I don't
pink
know the
in my
exact.
what?
I don't know the actual lyric.
Really?
But it was kind of gross. But they do that to have it censored, to have it be played on the radio so they can make money. He said, what I'm doing is much better because I'm saying this is for adults.
Right.
The CD and the online has the sticker on it. Adults on, you know, parental advisory. You don't yell at them. They're the ones trying to give it to kids. This is for adults. I'm saying that since the fucking beginning.
Don't worry about the criticism, man.
But also-
I'm just happy you're doing it.
No, he was saying it in a positive way, by the way. But
I like the belt buckle too, by the way. You should sell those.
yeah, well,
Dude.
I think I fucking lost it.
People would buy those. You should have that Wheeler Walker belt buckle.
You know what's
made up.
cool? Let me talk about that shirt too.
Is that just a single W, right?
Well, yeah, they didn't.
I like it.
I want to make a
that.
WW Junior. Well, you need a big R or something.
Yeah, I need an R.
that shirt was made for me by the in California by the nudies. You remember nudies? Those old nudie suits that they used to wear in the '60s. You guys remember that?
Nudies.
It sounds. There's this guy. I think it's Ralph Nudie. He made the suits that you would see in the old Western movies.
How do you spell it?
N-U-D-I-E,
like Nudie magazine.
Yeah, and he would make these nudie suits at like Buck Owens and people like that. Well, what happened was they used to be in the old Westerns, these crazy suits, and people like Elvis or Johnny Cash used to watch those Westerns. And they started calling this guy. There he
Roy
is.
Orbison.
Yeah. Who's that guy? His name is it Ralph Nudie? Ralph Nudie.
Wow.
So these people like Elvis or Johnny Cash, Hank Williams even, they're like, I want a suit like they wore in, whatever Western movie. And then he started making clothes for musicians. Dolly Parton's there.
Who's that dude right there? Barry Klein? Who's Barry Klein? Is that Patsy Cline's dad?
I don't know. There's Graham Parsons.
Got a
Hank
nice
Williams.
Cadillac there.
Anyway, but I guess his granddaughter or somebody kept it going, and they reopened in LA for a little while. I think they're back out of business. I'm not sure, but that's an actual nudie shirt.
Wow.
Made for me. I had to get it fucking tailored and everything.
That's pretty goddamn
cost more than the
classic.
fucking record.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah, there it is.
I love shit like that. Nudies Rodeo Tailors, Hollywood, California.
I put the credit
embellished in
inside
West.
too. Yeah.
So those they still around?
Well, I think they're bringing it back. Yeah.
They have T-shirts. They're going red Ed Hardy on you. They're gonna
Yeah.
have glitter. It's gonna be glitter on those fucking T-shirts.
But anyway,
They're
I
ruining
called
everything.
the tailor and they made me that. I just wanted that. I wanted that label on the back, the nudie.
That's so
rodeo
cool.
Rodeo tailor.
I love things like that. You find out.
I think
about
they got a museum. Yeah, it was cool because I just looked it up. Like what I did was that's what's great about the internet because I looked it up. I was like, this is the kind of shirt I want for my record cover.
Right.
And then I want a nudie shirt. And I look it up. And all of a sudden I see their website and I look at it, and you can get one made by, it's just there. It's just
Right.
go. I don't want one like it. I want
Right.
it.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
He used to do that. He used to like soup up like Elvis's cars and shit.
Really?
Yeah, Nudies did a bunch of car shit where you would.
Elvis had a souped-up car.
Yeah, but what they did to those suits, they would do it to cars, like horns coming out of it, and glitter and all that. Yeah, look at it.
That's hilarious. Look at
Yeah.
this thing.
People,
Some-
there's that. That's that famous Elvis suit. He made that.
He made Elvis a gold shiny suit.
Yeah.
What is the one with the car though? Go back to that car. That's hilarious. It's Elvis had.
Can you imagine driving
a
that? I don't know if
giant
that was
white
Elvis's car.
Cadillac. If it's not Elvis, who's it
Look at
say?
that.
It
That's
says
a nudie car,
It
yeah.
might be his. Was it his car?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
So he designed.
I think
like,
you can go. There's a museum around here somewhere. You can go check it out.
I wonder if that was his. But that's why is there a rifle? Look at there's
Yeah.
a rifle back there.
You're allowed to put
What?
there's a rifle glued
He's
to
got
the car.
2 rifles on the sides, but one of them that's in like a firing position to shoot at people behind you.
Well, when I make.
What the fuck is
listen.
that, man?
If you're fans, here, I'll make a promise right here. If I get to number 1, I'm wearing that. I'm wearing a nudie suit nonstop for a fucking week. I'll wear that.
A whole week?
Actually, I take it back a year.
A year. A year I like. I like a year.
But I'm gonna
number 1?
I'll tour with because those nudie suits cost fucking $5,000.
I feel like people are just finding out about you. I feel like this ride has just started for you.
Well, that's what happened. Like I was saying, when it debuted so high, I went home and I was like, "That's crazy that debuted so high." Then you get hungry. You go home and you're like, "Fuck them even worse up their ass." I'm gonna tour. I'm gonna do the video. I'm gonna go for it now.
Well, I think a lot of people don't even know about you yet. I really do. And hopefully with this podcast and with some other podcasts and all the YouTube videos and
Between you helping out and I appreciate it again coming on the show. I had a fucking blast, man.
come on, man, it's fun shit.
I
enjoy
love it, and I love that you're a fan. I love that there's places like this where I can fucking talk about it.
I love that there is too. I don't even know how it happened. I wish I could say that I planned this whole thing out. This is all total dumb luck.
Yeah, well, you have anyone who happens upon my record, if they find me, you got one of the biggest podcasts in the world. But even if I've done interviews with people just like, I like the record. Will you be on my fucking podcast? And we got like 30 fucking. I'll do it if they're that big a fan. I don't give a shit.
Oh, that's cool of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's going to change though once you run out of time.
Oh yeah, fuck those fuckers. Yeah,
You're going to get too many people.
it's gonna be Joe Rogan only soon. But
There's
yeah.
a lot of other cool ones. You got to do like Burt Kreischer and do as many people as you can around town.
Yeah, while I'm here and not playing
Duncan.
Coachella, I may as well do
Yeah.
the whole fucking round.
It's hilarious that Coachella thought you were too risque.
Yeah.
I would love to see you up there eating
Well,
pussy.
I think it is.
Kicking
I think
ass.
part of it is, it's like in the kind of I think it's because it's country, and it's just
Right.
so weird to hear. And also when it's not as loud, so all the bad words are so fucking clear, and you can hear it so well. Like when you sing clit, you can really hear it.
I just would love to see all those fucking hipsters that are just going to the cool thing. Like people are like, we're here for the cool thing.
Well,
man. We're
that's
going to Coachella.
But that's
It's
the
gonna
whole.
be amazing.
That's the whole fuck. That's a
Sucking dick.
It's funny you brought that up. No, but seriously, I'm glad you brought that up because part of the point of this record too was to piss off everybody. I wanted, my redneck friends back home. I wanted them to get pissed off by this. I wanted the hipsters to get pissed off by like there's something to piss off everybody.
Right.
So the goal was, again, talking about thinking no one's gonna hear it. The goal was to fucking make sure nobody bought it.
Right.
I did everything in my power to make sure no one would listen to it, and I think maybe that's the key. Because there's something to piss off everyone on here.
But it's a hilarious idea. The whole idea behind it's hilarious.
But I think people get that it's you can't make music like this that sounds like that if it's not coming from a real fucking place.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think this kind of stuff. I mean, it's going to sound grand and ridiculous, but I think this ushers in the future because it's proving, that people like a lot of stuff that you're not going to get it from these mainstream purveyors. You're just not going to get it from. They're not going to risk it. They're not going to put the money out for something like this because they can't sell it to the radio stations. They can't do what they normally do. They don't have a place for it. They don't know what it is. So then you come along, you do it on your own. It takes off like a fucking wildfire. And now they're scrambling. Like you must be getting a lot of mainstream music producer guys and executives that are coming to you trying to get in on this.
Oh, totally. And you know what? You always got to remember like we were talking about, don't give a fuck. You got to keep that attitude or you're going to fall down the fucking,
They're going to drag you into the fucking
then
devil's
I'm going to put
nest.
out, then it's going to be like,
Yeah.
And listen, I like money. We all like money. But they're going to go, hey, if you tone down a little bit on the next one, we can get you on whatever. We can get you on MTV or CMT or whatever it is. And then I'll go, and they're like, that'll be 10 times the money. And then,
Right.
I'll think about it. Don't get me wrong, but I just got to stick with. Listen, if
I think they're wrong though. It might be 10 times the money right now, but I think in the future,
also,
like, dude, this is going to be giant.
I
man.
don't give a fucking shit if it doesn't sell
Right.
10 times.
Well, that's
much.
good.
Because if I'm not doing it the way I want it, then I'll be miserable.
But because you are doing it the way you want it, it's fucking hilarious. So like, what kind of people? You don't have to name names. But like, what kind of people have come up to you and have tried to get in on this? What kind of music executive type characters?
I'll say, and I'm talking about country stars and country music executives. I won't name names. The biggest of the biggest, and I'm not going to name names. But I'm talking the biggest stars in country have contacted me. Well, a couple different things. I've heard through the grapevine because I don't travel in those circles. But some people who really love it. Some people, and not a joke, have reached out to friends of mine who know me, making sure that I don't shit on them because I talk shit about everybody. And they're like, couldn't you tell him I'm cool so he doesn't shit on me? And a couple people have come with some of the big boys, and some of these I wouldn't even mind naming, but they don't want. It's funny too because I have some fans who are literally the biggest country stars on planet Earth who won't say they're until it becomes okay to say it. They're not saying it right now.
Right.
They said it to my face. I've literally met them and they've said it to my face, but they won't say it anywhere because they don't want to lose their fucking fans. Like if it becomes mainstream, which I hope it doesn't, but if it does, maybe it'll be cool,
What's mainstream though?
Who the fuck
I
knows?
mean, there's no mainstream anymore. Mainstream used to be radio and television. Nobody gives a fuck about the Tonight Show anymore.
Someone
like being on a Tonight Show for a band. Does that mean anything anymore?
Well, they were talking to me about that, because one thing you do is play late night shows, and they're like, they ain't gonna have you. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
But do they mean anything anymore?
No.
It used to be if you did like the Tonight Show. But then once it changed in like the 90s. Like it started going away in like the 90s and the 2000s.
They were telling me that the numbers that they're like, you can't do obviously those big talk shows, but they're saying those numbers it's not gonna move the needle.
It's better than nothing.
Your podcast is gonna move the needle a lot more than any fucking talk show. I guarantee you that.
That's bizarre.
Well, you know what? I don't get. I hope I'm right, but
I think you're right.
But I'm almost positive.
Well, I've heard it about books and other people's CDs.
I'm positive I'm right. And I know Stern's played it a couple times. Like that shit's so much bigger than doing a fucking Tonight Show or whatever those shows are. Which listen, if I'm in town, they want me to play, I'll do it. But they can't have me on, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, they can't have you on. And one of the problems with those shows is, like, say, no offense to any of these guys, but say if Conan has someone on a show that's a band, I don't know how much input Conan has. Or like maybe the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. How much input does he have on what the guests are?
I don't know. Letterman,
You know what I mean?
I was told, was the one who really did liked real country. He was. That was always the place where like Isbell played there.
Right.
And, like he would. And Jason Isbell also is on an independent label. It's hard for him to get on, but with Letterman given the approval, he can get on.
So
He's
some
done
of those
big shit.
guys have like some power. Like Jay Leno was talking to me about this, like that he hated when he was doing the Tonight Show, and he'd have to have some guy on from some TV show that he didn't give a fuck about,
Yeah,
and he had to
you'd
pretend
think-
that he cared.
You'd think he'd be in a position to fucking.
Wasn't. He was doing the
You can't- and
most
you can't get any bigger than
mainstream of
that.
mainstream shows, but that's
Yeah.
why. It's because it was so mainstream. He had to be like right down the middle, like non-offensive. But now he's doing his own show. He's doing that Jay Leno's Garage. Have you ever seen that?
No, is it good?
Dude, you get to see what Jay Leno's like. Jay Leno's
Isn't
a
that
fucking
weird that he
great
was
guy.
on my TV for 20 years? I don't know what he's like.
He's a great guy. He was in here. He did a podcast with us. He was fucking
didn't hear
hilarious.
him. I
He was
gotta go-
talking about doing a show for the mob, and he was talking about this mob. And
Oh, I
seeing
heard about it. Yeah.
Jay Leno scream, "You fucking cocksucker!" It's bizarre. Like seeing him scream, "You fucking cocksucker!" Like, whoa.
I remember hearing stories, because I obviously have so many friends who are musicians, but like who they'll be playing a show and they're like, oh, somebody canceled on this is years ago, canceled on the Tonight Show. If you can get out to L.A. to play a Tonight Show, you can do the show in whatever week. And they crunch the numbers, and it costs. It's not moving a band is so expensive.
Right.
And they crunch the numbers, and it's like it wasn't worth their money to play. Like, how fucking crazy is that?
That's crazy.
When we become a small band, and it's not worth the money to play the Tonight Show.
You won't get enough return on your money as far as iTunes sales.
They were saying that it was $40,000 to play because you're paying the musicians, the
Right.
crew, the trucks, everything, and driving all the way out there was. And it's like you're not going to make $40,000 in record sales, so just
That's so
don't even play it.
weird.
In the old days, like you were saying, one play on that and you're playing arenas.
Yeah, I was talking to Paul Stanley about that when he was in here. It was real weird talking to him because Paul Stanley, of course, was a huge superstar in the 70s, and it was all record sales. And as a matter of fact, they couldn't get on the radio. Kiss had a really hard time being on the radio. They were sort of kind of blackballed on the outside.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
but just because of the love from their fans, they stayed valid.
Of course, and they sell them fucking lunch boxes and
But it
dolls
was
and
weird, man. I mean, when
Yeah,
I
but-
was a kid, like a Kiss song on the radio, like it was a moment to be excited. Oh my God, they're playing Kiss! Like
And
as
then
a Kiss
I think the
fan,
only one they ever played was Beth, which was
Well,
weird because that was the drummer. It
that was
Peter
a
Criss.
big one.
Yeah.
But they played Detroit Rock City occasionally,
I don't
or
think
I
they-
Want to Rock and Roll All Night.
That they played, yeah. They played that in Kentucky.
Detroit
But-
Rock City, I'd heard on the radio before, and I remember being blown away. Like, whoa, I can't
But
believe
they're definitely not
playing
taken
this.
seriously, yeah.
No, they weren't taken seriously, but they're a fucking great rock and roll band.
By the way, isn't that the best fucking idea? You become the biggest rock band ever, and then you put the makeup on.
Yeah.
Go out and do whatever the fuck you want.
Nobody knew who they were.
Yeah.
I met Ace Frehley when I was probably before I was less than 10, somewhere in that area. My uncle used to work for Howard Marks Advertising, which used to make all
was
the
this?
album covers in New York City.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and my uncle Vinny was an artist, and so him and this guy Dennis that he worked with would do these album covers
What album
for
cover did
Kiss,
they make?
like Destroyer.
Oh, it's a killer cover,
Oh,
man.
dude, like some of the all-time great ones. They did Kiss Double Platinum. They were so I would get advanced copies of this shit when I was a little kid.
I can't even imagine what getting an advanced copy of a record was when you're. Cause
Oh my God, it was
I don't think I
insane.
would have known what an advanced copy was. Like, you probably had to
Yeah, that
explain
one.
it. Look at that fucking
Yeah,
cover.
my uncle was involved with that, and he was involved in a couple other ones, man.
Is that the name? There's a name there.
I don't know who the guy who did the painting was. I think they hired someone to do the painting.
Yeah.
But what the advertising agency would do was design like the inside of it, like graphic design, put all the photos in place, and decide how the font would look and all that stuff. It was
Yeah.
really cool. So when I was a kid, he would send me these posters. My mom just had them recently. I had these fucking when they had their solo albums. They all had
Oh,
like
they-
an
they-
individual
all four of them
album.
each
Yeah,
had an
I
album.
had the actual posters from
No
their
fucking
solo
way.
album. Yeah. I had
And
it.
each one, I think each record was dedicated to the other three, right?
Well, was it? That's
I think
interesting
on the
if
back it was like,
that's smart.
it's like dedicated to Paul,
Yeah.
Gene, and
They had some
whatever.
creepy ass fucking songs.
Yeah, it was.
Gene Simmons had Christine 16.
But no, then it
talking
came
about
back around and
16-year-old.
became, yeah. You got to watch that shit now.
You gotta watch that shit now. You couldn't have a song about a 16-year-old that you have to fuck.
Listen.
I've got to have you, Christine.
You know what? I got an idea for a
16.
album too.
What is it?
I'm not gonna.
Don't
do
say it.
No.
Hold on, dude. Just take a breath. I know what you were gonna say.
You
Don't
talked
you
me
do
out of
it.
it. No.
There was a couple of good songs though from the soul albums. Back in the New York Groove, that was a good Ace Frehley song.
Oh, that was from his solo record?
Yeah. Back in the New York Groove was
I thought
an unheralded song.
Ace's solo record was the best of the solo ones.
Really?
Yeah. I don't remember them that well, but I remember liking that one the best.
I'd have to go back and listen to them again. Remember they did a little disco for a while, like I Was Made for Loving You? They went disco
You know
for
what?
a while.
People make fun. I mean, looking back, it's kind of good. At the time,
That's a
you
great
hated
song.
it.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
All that disco shit that was so shitty, you listen to now, it sounds... Everything, in looking back, it was like, now the music's gotten so shitty. I mean, Bee Gees sound fucking like the best band you ever heard.
Well, that's what's interesting is I think they were unjustly criticized. Like, if you listen to their style of music, they had some really good songs. The Bee Gees had some interesting songs.
I could name you. I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but I can name you 20 killer Bee Gees songs. And that's the other thing too. You know, it's important. It sounds like you're with me. So
Yeah, man.
You got to listen to all kinds of music.
I love all kinds of music.
The people that make the shitty country that we were pointing out before, all they listen to is pop country. That's all they listen to. People. I was reading an interview with Prince once, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking about how much he loved James Brown. And later in the interview, he talks about Joni Mitchell, how much he loves Joni Mitchell. That's how you become Prince.
Right.
When you love James Brown and Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
Because it's two completely different things. And then it comes out through Prince as some. But if he only listened to James Brown, it just sound like a James Brown ripoff. It's the folk music and the weird shit that he listened to that made him such a fucking
Yeah, man, I
weird
think
guy.
music is a lot like everything else. Like, I like variety in all kinds of different foods. I like variety in art and architecture, and I like variety in music. It's interesting to hear, like, More Than a Woman. That is a good fucking song. That Bee Gees song.
Oh,
That's
great,
a good
yeah.
goddamn. And when you saw it in that movie Saturday Night Fever, like, it's a great fucking song.
Try not dancing to Staying
Yeah,
Alive.
that's right. That's what I'm talking about.
You know?
That's a good fucking song.
It's a great song.
That era, people were looking at that like, okay, we have this instead of Led Zeppelin. This is what replaced the Doors. Like, what the fuck is this?
And then you get older, you realize you can listen to both. Kind of what happened to,
Exactly.
like I was talking about before with me and all my, it's like, when you got into rock, it's like, wait a second. Waylon and John Lennon aren't that fucking far apart. It's They're much closer together than, like, you know,
Yeah.
what's playing on the radio right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
They're all coming. I mean, Waylon used to play with Buddy Holly. That's how he got his start.
no shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most famous story of all, but he was supposed to be on that plane.
Dwight Yoakam was probably the first guy that was a real country guy that I was a fan of. I was a fan of Dwight. He kind of crossed over a little bit.
Yeah, you know what happened? He's a Kentucky boy as well. A lot of great music from Kentucky, huh?
Yeah.
But I always thought of him as a Kentucky guy, and he is, but he actually had to move to L.A.
Yeah.
to make it. He was in the punk scene out here. Because back then,
What?
like, dressing like that, wearing the cowboy hat, and playing kind of old-style Buck Owens country was thought of as crazy as it. I mean, he wasn't
Yeah.
playing, you know, punk music, but he was kind of an outsider, you know, that was thought of as like a weird thing to be doing.
He seemed to me that what he was doing was like an ode to the classics. You know, it's like he was
But I
almost
thought he also put his own spin on it too.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. But it reminisced of like really great country music of old. Like, he was obviously he was a huge fan of that music.
And I felt like he was one of the first guys who brought that old sound back, but kind of got some, you know, got airplay. You know,
He got a lot of airplay.
Went mainstream with going back to the old guys.
Yeah, like that "Ain't That Lonely Yet" song. That
that
song.
got play. And
Guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music.
That's a
That
fucking-
that was a huge
well, I
hit.
get that was the inspiration to track 2, Beer, Weed, Cooches, and Honky Tonk Music.
But he was like a guy that you were allowed to like. It's like you were allowed to like him as a country person. It made you
Well,
like
even
a diverse.
then, you know, the 90s, like you were talking about shit changing so fast. Even the fucking, like, you look back at mainstream country in the 90s, it sounds like fucking raw field recordings compared to what we got out there right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's changed so much so fast that, like, actually, like, this is the kind of what mainstream Alan Jackson, Randy Travis, that
Yeah.
shit sounds like fucking, like, down in the dirt. Like, it sounds like blue, like a
Gritty.
Yeah, it sounds like fucking jug band.
What has happened?
We've
Like,
fucking
could you
lost.
imagine if Johnny Cash could watch those guys like throwing their fucking hands, those hip hop hand signs, their perfectly coiffed outfits
Well,
on,
everyone
and
sends me
buying jeans with rips already in them?
People always send me these
Did you
memes.
put that rip in, or did you buy it?
No,
with
this
that?
is ripped. Yeah, no.
That's real.
Yeah, I swear,
Okay.
I wasn't gonna wear this.
Okay.
No, I paid $100 for that. Bucks for that rip. No, people send me memes all the time of that shit. That's what it's called. So they put like
Yeah.
they'll show a picture of Wayland. It's a place I don't know what it's called. It's like I've gotten 100 of these picture of Wayland, like Florida Georgia line. Yeah, I think I pissed there once. And I've gotten that meme. I've gotten 100
See
of
if you
them.
can find that.
But there's 100 of those guys like. Rolling in there. People love making those because there's an audience for that still, which is great.
Well, Shooter talked about, he had that song, They Should Outlaw You, that was specifically about that. Like these fake country guys, like these especially fake outlaw guys, about what his dad had to go through to make it in country.
Oh, fuck yeah.
His dad was a real pioneer and a rebel in a lot of ways. Like he did whatever the fuck he wanted to do, and it worked. And that sound became like super popular. And Waylon Jennings.
Waylon's the king. You listen to Waylon records now, the best shit. It sounds like it was recorded yesterday.
It's amazing.
Man. It sounds. It hasn't aged a fucking day.
And his son and Shooter's weird too, man, because he does all kinds of strange music.
Yeah, his
man.
new album is Countach. It's like almost electronic, and it's fucking killer. It's great.
Killer. Well, he's another guy that just wherever his fucking hair blows back.
One of my favorite guys, this guy Billy Joe Shaver, who's like he's old now. He wrote a lot of. There's a Waylon album called Honky Tonk Heroes that Billy Joe Shaver wrote every song on. It's my favorite Waylon record. And Billy Joe's still around. He just put out a new album last year, and it's fucking great. And the first song's a duet with Willie Nelson, and it's called Hard to Be an Outlaw. And the song is Hard to Be an Outlaw When You Ain't Wanted Anymore.
Wow.
So it's him who was actually part of the outlaw movement, which I'm not part of that. I'm just here doing what I do.
What is the outlaw movement?
That was the 70s when they were the equivalent of, I don't know,
But you're kind of comedy.
To me, it's not even that funny. But like, people listen. I'm just singing like I see it.
Right.
I fight and fucking fart. So
But it's funny. It's obviously funny.
people,
obviously, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Right. People are laughing at it. So
I don't get mad when people laugh.
But it is very outlaw in a lot of ways by the method you're going about putting it out.
No, but I'll to defend though, like.
I can see how you don't want to claim it because it's like an iconic name, like Outlaw Country, like those guys.
But those guys were. That was when pop. Well, that was when country music, which, by the way, that country on the radio then sounds great now, but it was a lot of strings and got really lush. And then people like Willie moved out of Nashville, moved to Austin, started smoking weed, and said, "I'm going to do it my fucking way."
Right.
And that's what kind of that kind of thing. And Waylon's like, get the fucking strings out, get all this shit out. I just want to play me guitar, bass, drum. Just back to the basics. So they were really pushing the envelope, way more than anything I've ever.
Does Nashville have any? I mean, how much of Nashville is like real music, and how much of Nashville is like pop now? Like when you're there,
it's really it's so funny because, like I said, most of my family's from Nashville, so I went there all the time growing up, and it was really almost not a ghost town, but it was just like it was a kind of had a small town feel, and you would see Crystal Gale or whoever it was on the streets. And it was the center of country music, but it was not a flashy town. And now it's the place. It's another Hollywood. It's where people
changed,
go. It changed,
but it's real recent, right?
It's within the last. I went. There's the Silver Lake, which is apparently the hip place here. The Silver Lake in Nashville is East Nashville, and I don't think I'd ever been there as a kid. I don't think. It was just slums, and now you can't even get a place there. It's so fucking expensive.
So it's got gentrified.
Totally.
Like, how many years ago did this happen?
If you bought a house there 5 years ago, you're fucking swimming in it right now.
Yeah, because I started going to Zanies in Nashville as a comedy club. I started going there. I just want to say, like maybe 10 years ago, I started going there. Maybe 2000.
And I'll bet it was way different 10 years ago.
Way different.
Yeah.
Way different.
I mean, these places now, like.
They have those spotlights that stream the sky, and they'll have like some fucking grand opening thing or some press release thing, and you'll see like these tour buses and paparazzis, and like, what is going on?
Well, that's the thing too. Is when I was a kid, I had family who was friends with country. Not because they were in the business. It's just if you're in town, that's what a lot of people do. There were never no fucking paparazzi. I know people there. When you gotta like. Warn people where you're going and do this thing. That's why I'm hoping people like Jason or Sturge will kind of people start moving there for the right fucking, make the right kind of music. But still,
there's got to be some that are doing that, right?
There are some, but I mean,
how many of them are these fucking coiffed up bands with the hair gel?
Almost all. I mean, like
wallet chains.
Yeah, I mean, but you hear it. How many Sturgills come into your podcast? You know,
Well, Sturgill's a rare dude.
he's a rare.
as a shooter. They're rare guys, but
We're really naming. There's way more of it than you think.
but
There's
those
no doubt.
Jason Isbells and Sturgills and don't like a guy like that. When Sturgill puts out a CD and then people find out about it and people aspire, and then they want to be like that, and then it sort of gives birth to more people like that, or more people who can express themselves.
Yeah, but
that way.
it never. It's almost like Nirvana. You know, remember when they came out? It's like, oh fuck the old shit. It's time for real
Yeah.
rock and roll
They
to
killed
come back.
Poison.
Yeah, exactly. But all that it ended up doing was bringing out a bunch of shitty Nirvana copycats.
There was a lot of that.
There was a lot of that, and there's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of Sturgill copycats coming out soon, and they're not going to.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing it because they think it's going to sell, not because Sturgill did it because he had something on his mind that he wanted to sing. You know.
Yeah.
It's going to come out the wrong way. So
Well, there's always going to be the guy that pretends to be the guy that you love.
yeah.
You know, like there's the guy
And
that
those
you
are the
love
ones who sell the records.
sometimes, or host the TV shows, or
Yeah.
do movies, or whatever. Those are the guys like you like go, this guy's sort of inauthentic, like something's going on.
Yeah,
but when someone is authentic, though, you can tell, right? Can't you tell? Like Sturgill, you can fucking tell. Listen to that new A Sailor's Guide to Earth. Come on, man.
That's the best record of the year by far.
It's fucking sensational.
And I'm saying that with mine right in front of me.
It's sensational. It's so good.
Yeah. Well,
Like
it's
weird how it all flows together too. It's like, poof. That's a magnum opus. Is that
but
it? Magnus?
no
opus?
one would go into a studio and make a record like that, hoping thinking that's going to
No.
sell it. He did it because he wanted to make it.
And he's got to have. It's very rare that you're going to have a big company that sells records that has the wherewithal to let a guy like that go. Just go do whatever you want, man.
I think he did it all. I think he produced it himself and did everything. I think he did it all himself.
Do you know Honey Honey? He did. He did.
Yeah,
do it
you know
all
what's
himself.
funny? My first ever LA gig, the guy produced my record. The band after he produced, the band that came in right after I left was Honey Honey. And they heard my record in the studio, and they're like, next time you're in LA, why don't you open a show? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I played a few songs with them acoustic. And they came out in costume and backed me up for a couple of songs because they had the record, but it wasn't out yet.
Right.
So that was my first LA show ever. Was opening for them.
Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, that's right. Your friend, you're.
Yeah, real good friends with them.
Yeah.
We've done a bunch of shows together.
Oh no way. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's funny. That was my first fucking LA show with Honey Honey.
They did New Year's with me last year.
Oh no way.
Yeah, we
Where?
did New Year's at the Wiltern in L.A.
How big's that?
It was, I don't know,
That's big.
a couple
though.
thousand people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was Joey Diaz.
Yeah,
me,
Honey Honey's last album was fucking great.
Ari and Duncan. Yeah, it was awesome. They were amazing. They're really good, man. And there's a, what is
Hey.
this?
That's them. That's them backing me up.
Honey Honey engaging. They have, she has a beard on.
Yeah, I think that was a sign of things to come when people want to dress up in costume when they're backing me when they're on station. They don't want to be seen. I think I should have seen that as a possible sign that maybe I was doing was a little bit out there.
Well, what I was going to say about them was they have this song, and I used part of the song on my the music for it with my Comedy Central special, the opening music. That's all from them. That's
Oh,
all
no
their
way.
music. And it's this song called Punk Kid, and they can't put it out because they made it. They spent all their own money making it, but the record company wanted it. And so, like, when the record company hired them to do a song or do an album, they wanted the Punk Kid song, and they wanted it for free. And they're like, no, but we spent all this money on that song. This is our song. We wrote it. You can't own this. Like, you can't
they
own
can't.
the song. When they tried to, and they said no. So that song is like out in the ether. So they have to figure out what to do with that song.
Well, that's-
They're going to hold on to it for a while.
I will say, I did learn. Being around the music business as much as I had, I knew I'd heard all those stories.
That's crazy.
That's why I bought I
Yeah.
own my masters. Like,
Well-
you can't touch this.
You don't need them anymore.
If I'm quoting Hammer.
Well, you don't need them anymore.
I don't.
Like what we're talking about distribution. You'll get more distribution from doing this show, or more people will hear
Well,
about
we're
it
gonna
from
find
doing this
out.
show.
We'll see.
Guarantee you. It's going to get crazy. And from doing mine and do Adam Carolla's and do everybody else's.
yeah,
like,
someone
you can
said
do more of
Corolla,
them. For
Corolla
sure.
played it the other day, maybe, or something.
Dude, all these guys will do it. You can get on Joey Diaz. Joey will have you on. Ari will have you on. Duncan. Anybody who's around will have you on. And people hear about it. This is it's a new time, man. It's a new
Well,
world. And no, they're not trying to, it's.
I'm just happy it came, that I'm here now, because like you said, 20 years ago, this album would
No.
not exist.
It would not exist. But it exists. Wheeler Walker. Redneck Shit. Go get it.
Yeah, I think it was, someone said it was the first album to chart on the country Billboard charts with a bad word.
Really?
No country charts. No
That's
country album's
true.
ever charted with a bad word in the title. Redneck Shit.
Eating pussy, kicking ass. That's one of my favorite songs, dude. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie.
That puts a smile on my face.
I'll be listening to this at the gym.
By the way, there's a download code in that too.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay.
yo,
So
you
you
guys
buy
want
the vinyl, you get a download code? Dude,
Yeah.
I want to pay. I want to buy it on iTunes.
Well, this
I
guy.
insist.
You want
He's
a
gonna
CD?
buy it too.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking buy
It's
it.
$9. Make him buy it.
I'm giving it. He's been.
How much does it cost? $9? That's what normal. That's a normal album cost, right? On iTunes,
Yeah, I
$9.
think so,
That's
probably.
good.
Whatever the normal. I didn't.
Sturgill had the #1 song and the #1 album last week.
Yeah, I think his album's.
Boom.
Yeah, and that's
Number
don't,
one.
Keep in mind too, he spent half his time fucking taking motherfuckers out.
I don't know if that's true. I really don't think he's an assassin. I think you should go to a doctor. I'm telling you, you look just like Ben Hoffman too. It's so weird.
Well, like I said, someone said I look like Zach Galifianakis. I don't,
That person's an asshole. That doesn't make any sense at all.
but I don't
mean,
want.
You're both handsome, but that's
I don't know.
ridiculous. It's just a beard thing.
I guess, but
Why would someone say you look like Zach Galifianakis? You have different colored
I think
hair.
people just saw a beard.
People are stupid, right?
People see me doing this shit and they're just like, he can't be real. So they're like, he's got to be somebody.
Oh, that's it. And then also that video of you with the fake mustache.
That
doesn't
hurt
help.
things, yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't help.
Well, whatever. Fuck them.
Listen.
Fuck them if they can't take a joke, right?
WheelerWalkerJr.com, you fucks. And go to iTunes. Go pick this up. Thanks, sir. That was
Thank
awesome.
you for having me. That
It was a good
blast,
time, man. It's a lot of fun.
I hope you had fun because I did.
Eating pussy and kicking ass, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Mwah.
How was it?